Oh yeah, I need to turn down the volume too. Sorry, sorry. I was doing some off-camera stuff, so I turned the volume way up so I could, hear it. And by way up, I mean just back to normal volume. Alright, where is this sucker? Let's see, is this it? Where is it? It said it was like right here. Oh, it's in there. I see it.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the battle thing. I've done like 4 of these, 3 of these. I'm gonna do some more. Ooh, this is a difficulty 2. Whoa. Yeah, let's move the chat a little over here. And then let's go over here. There we go. So, I have the ultimate weapon. Haven't used it yet.
You freaking cheater.
I don't care. I'm sorry. This is a time gate, and I don't have time.
Yeah.
I made the game unproud. I'm good. Although I love how many people are saying, "Yeah, this game's too easy." You had to take that away from me, didn't you? But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and try out the ultimate weapon for the first time.
I think you're gonna like this. Make sure to try out its shot lock, by the way.
Oh yeah, I should do that first, so I don't forget. Just one? Max?
Just one.
One. Okay. Okay. Well, now that I've scorched the earth, Jesus.
So, to spoil for you, that kills the first Xehanort fight, the one with the 13 vessels. Just straight up.
Wow.
Yeah. You start, you shot lock, he dies.
Oh my god. Well, there's certainly some cool factor going on here. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've got a new favorite Keyblade. Look at this thing. Let's see what its finisher is. Just Keyblades. Just Keyblades everywhere. I've turned into Xehanort.
Its block is also the Armiger from Versus 13/15.
Nice.
So I think that's an interesting little nod. Ultima weapon, Black Vial.
Yeah, this is the Ultima. Or Ultimate? I'm actually not sure.
No, it's Ultima.
Okay.
It's just the ultimate form.
Oh, yeah. That's why I was confused on that one. Then the first tier finisher is that. Good God. I'm just going to make hundreds of Keyblades kill you in the face.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I was thinking about quad wielding. I didn't think we'd be doing 50 wielding.
They did, yes, Dakota. This is Final Form on steroids, basically.
Yar. Okay, next. Where's my list? I actually have a list of where all these things are.
Nice.
Okay.
So to clarify, for anyone who missed my message in Discord or didn't even see it in general, this is going to be our full spoiler, carte blanche Q&A sort of thing. So you can say anything and...
Spoilers everywhere. It's in the Twitch title, damn it.
Yep.
As an addendum, this is also intended to be a little bit of a series wrap-up, too.
Yeah, true.
So I've been debating some of my own thoughts, and I will say that I definitively think that time travel shouldn't have been in this game. I know I've actually mentioned that before to you, but I want to say it on camera, because I do. I really don't think the time travel is even necessary in this game at all. There's just too many ways around that. Like, it would be so easy to just... I mean, they literally have the blank slate puppet thing, which they literally use for several of their new Organization 13 members. It would be so easy to just be like, oh, yep, so there's part of me into that one, and there's part of me into that one, and so forth and so on until...
I mean, that's effectively what he does in the final battle anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's just do it. There's no need to be like, and then they came from the past. Just their hearts, though, for no reason.
I mean, the main three coming from the past, I don't really have much of an issue with, because that doesn't conflict with anything. But even still, like, shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. I agree with Seend on that. Because at least the Kingdom Hearts, the time travel in DDD not only was self-coherent, but also kind of served its own narrative purpose. It doesn't serve any purpose here other than here's Ansem and Young and Xemnas back. That's really it.
Right.
Jeez, these hit hard. I may have some decent armor on, too. I think. Maybe I don't. I don't remember which timeline of saves this is. I should check that after this.
This is the one where you full cheated, probably.
I don't know, honestly, because...
Actually, no, because the one that you, like, completely know 100% cheated in was the one that you broke.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah, so fun fact, I did have to go and basically... Well, there's no basically. I had to actually earn the Ultima Weapon recipe legitimately. Mm-hmm. Which just involves getting all the... or not all but 2 of the materials. That took some grinding. I had really bad RNG luck on the grinding there. Okay, that sucks. Thoughts on Terra's reaction? Honestly, I think both Ericus and Xehanort got off a little light. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, I stand by my statement firmly that Xehanort was not redeemed. I will argue that till the end of time. However, I do think they both got off too easily. I was like, well, okay, we're done. Here you go. What? No! Both of those jackasses have ruined lives. Oh, jeez, these guys are irritating. Fine. Whoop.
Why wouldn't Sora use the same methods of time travel and bring 6 more of himself to the present? Sora doesn't know how time travel operates.
Although he could learn from himself. And I know what you're saying. That's stupid. No, that's how Xehanort learns. That's actually how Xehanort learns time travel. He learns from himself.
Effectively, Xehanort more or less made the rules, so.
Yeah. I don't think the time travel thing is actually my biggest complaint, as sad as that may sound. I do have several large complaints about that. In fact, so just a few, like half an hour ago, someone linked me Kaysen's thing, and summarized some of the points, and I watched a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, I agree with basically all his points except for one.
Yeah.
Like, I totally get it. It's like, yeah, no, that sucks. It's just the only difference is I didn't, I don't think it's the end of the game, but I get it. Good lord, do I get it.
I mean, my main sticking point was Kairi, but I know that Kaysen had more than that to say.
Oh gosh, that's an interesting question. So here's a question for all of you two: biggest sticking point of negativity in the game. I know mine. I don't even have to think about it.
Although, let's also turn this Q&A around in a positive direction. What was your favorite moment of the game? Yeah.
I'm not sure I can pick just one. I'd probably go with the Xion Axel Roxas reunification thing. Mm-hmm. Ignoring the fact that it was something I've been wanting to see for a long time. Seeing, Axel and Roxas just being like, okay, we barely managed it. And they look over and Xion's just sobbing.
Right.
And it's just,
I mean, if you saw that got an audible sob out of me.
Yeah,
on stream.
Did I do this one? Whatever. I'll go ahead and tell my biggest complaint of the game, since I haven't seen any responses really yet. My biggest complaint... Oh, I have already done this one. Whatever. My biggest complaint of the game by far is the unnecessary Omega 13 moment. That just aggravated the piss out of me. Especially since it happens right after a relatively decent scene, and right before a really good scene. Just all of a sudden, oh, hang on, first you're gonna die. Except you're not dead.
So I know that was meant to be specific. I'm not actually sure which Omega 13 moment you're actually referring to.
Well, there's the only one that I'm aware of, admittedly. They do Omega 13 twice in this game? Oh my god! What is wrong with this game?
Well, could you, elaborate? Because...
Yeah, sure. So they're going to the Keyblade Graveyard, and they're like, hey! Oh no, he kills us all! And then I'm dead! And then we're back, and there's no explanation for what the hell just happened. And there really isn't, too. I actually did a little bit of looking into the Japanese translation off camera. And apparently, yeah, there's just no mention of what just happened. It's fully out of character.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, let's do this exact same scene again. Yuck. Except they don't say that, obviously, because they don't know that. They're just doing the scene again. What the crap? I'm sorry, that irritates me because A, there's no acknowledgement of it. B, I hate it when time travel happens and characters don't remember. That's just a personal pet peeve. C, it served no narrative purpose other than a tiny little bit of hinting on whoever the hell it was, Strelexia or whatever.
Right.
I mean,
And
don't get...
again, that could have been shifted.
There's plenty of other places they could have done that. I mean, don't mistake me. The Final World was cool, but it was also too long. So I can't even say that's a universal positive, you know?
I mean, could you imagine if, you know,
I love my dodges in this
the
one.
ending still happens as it does, you know, minus the final world thing. And then when Xehanort kills, quote unquote, Sora, that's when the final world thing happens.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
As an aside, I love how I'm just scraping up the ground with my attacks in this thing. Hey, Tyron. What's up? Excuse me. But yeah, that's my biggest complaint so by far, and that's my biggest positive so far.
Right. Seeing a lot of interesting answers.
Yeah, I've been glancing at some of these here. Excuse me again. Ironically, Takoida seems to have basically the same as me. Just different focus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and just to, if I had to pick one exact moment of the whole Omega 13 thing, if you made me limit it down even more, it's young Xehanort shows up. You will fall further into darkness, into an abyss from which you'll never recover. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh hey, it's Chip and Mick and Dale, and we found a new path to a world. Here's Kyrie. What? There is such a total narrative dissonance in that entire sequence of those three events.
No kidding.
Just. Oh yeah, so here's an interesting point, and I wanted to address this point too because I've been thinking about this. Oh, I didn't do this one. I must have done this one in the other reality. Okay, so the game goes out of its way to recap a lot. Like there's quite a few recaps.
Yep.
Now that doesn't bother me. It's not a negative, but I will go so far as to say that I wouldn't have done that, and I want to explain my reasoning on that. So the usual argument is, you know, not everyone has the availability of seeing all the old stuff, and from a purely financial perspective, you always want to make sure you're making room for new players.
Yep.
Absolutely true. However, as Blue Wolf Alex will tell you, the conclusion of an epic thing should not be the point at which you bring in new players. And I point to Mass Effect 3
Exactly.
as the example of that. Thank you, Blue Wolf Alex. Thank you. As ever,
I
much
mean,
appreciated.
Even ignoring the fact that the series is available on the PS4, you can go out and pick it up right now for, I think, a combined total of $100.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think... I think the recaps weren't really well done, to be 100% blunt. Most of them were just a little bit too much, as you know.
Yeah.
And, excuse me again. I really feel like it just felt out of place because this is a conclusion. So, like, let me use two examples here, because I already mentioned this. Mass Effect 3 is the example. Mass Effect 3 tried to bring in new players, and in my opinion, the story suffered significantly for that fact.
Yep.
I will use a counter example as well, of a time where they didn't appeal to new viewers. Infinity War.
Thank you, Laura, because you are like the millionth and a half person to say this about Infinity War.
Well,
And about Kingdom Hearts specifically, because people bring up that comparison.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't actually realize other people. I'm not meaning to ape, I apologize. But no, I really do feel like Infinity War is a good example of something that said, hey, this is not for new people to the franchise. The next stuff will be. Whatever happens after Infinity War, sure. And Mass Effect 4, sure. But not the conclusion. Kingdom Hearts 3 should not be for new players. I'm sorry, I don't mean that as an elitist thing. I mean that as the focus should be on the people who've been with the franchise to date. It's the conclusion. Mm-hmm. You don't just... and all of a sudden... Sorry.
I know a couple of people who effectively didn't play any of the other games. They were lost. They weren't playing for the story, effectively.
I mean, it's good gameplay.
It is good gameplay, but they checked out of the story.
Yeah.
At least I think... I know Zeiss did, and I think Eric did. I'm not sure.
Oh, you got it, Blue Wolf Alex. Are you excited about the news tonight? The only thing we know about it is that it's going towards, or it's going to be Fire Emblem related.
Fire Emblem, yep.
I don't have my stream funding up. Hang on. Blue Ball, Alex, 2 Fire Emblem. So noted.
Square should have put the Story So Far package as a free game for PS Plus on December.
Honestly, I'm kind of with that.
Catch up.
Yeah.
The problem is I don't think Square actually has control over that. I think that's purely a Sony thing.
That's a fair point. I think they could have championed for it, but that's about as far as that could have gone.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. In the next Fire Emblem, it'll be all about cross-dimensional shipping. Like, you've heard of long-term relationships. You've seen nothing. Oh, so I did want to ask you this, Rax, because you're one of the only people I can ask this directly. And I'm asking this of chat, too. What did you guys think of just purely the combat of this game compared to the combat of previous Kingdom Hearts'?
For me, that's a complicated question.
That's why I'm asking it. Oh, hang on. I see several things in chat.
Oh my gosh.
I see several... Hang on, I gotta pause because I gotta scroll up here. Hang on. Suddenly, text.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about. Luckily, you guys haven't been like...
Oh, chat's been awesome.
Yeah.
Chat's been awesome. Y'all are awesome. I haven't had to ban anyone in this whole premiere run. I haven't had to block anyone. You guys are great.
I mean, Monday it got a little heated, but a little heated is about as far as it went.
Oh, no. It's just compared to the internet? No, you guys are great.
Yeah. I do think combos are... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to respond to Scene really quick and say that though I haven't played Yakuza 6, I've heard the same thing from several other people. And I agree, Yakuza 6 should not be for new players to the series. Yakuza 0 should be, and it was. So I'm with that. Anyways, please continue.
So,
Oops, this button.
I think the combos are a little too floaty. They're definitely better than they have been, especially considering the team that was working on the game. But
Actually,
overall, I'm satisfied. Go ahead.
No. That's my fault. Please continue.
Okay. Overall, I'm satisfied with the combat, minus the attraction flow thing. That
Yeah.
needed an option to just turn off.
Yeah.
Because I don't like how, and I know this is weird speaking of Kingdom Hearts about this, I don't like how tonally dissonant the combat can be.
Yeah. I'm fighting Aqua in the realm of darkness. Pirate ship!
Pirate ship, yeah.
As an aside, this is just my personal thoughts on this. I actually didn't mind most of the attractions, except the pirate ship and the carousel. Those are the two ones that just drove me batty.
Yep.
They weren't that great, in gameplay, and they were just, really? Okay, that's a thing. Like, this one isn't so bad. I got this one several times. It's the splash one. Actually, the teacups was surprisingly useful, like in almost any situation, for example.
The teacups and the blaster one were actually pretty good.
Now, let me just go ahead and say something that's going to oust me as a scrub. This is my favorite combat of the Kingdom Hearts series. Now, I'm going to explain...
You are a heretic and you're horrible.
I know it. There's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, and it's something that someone in chat mentioned as a negative, I like how many options are available at the start. Too many Kingdom Hearts games, in fact, basically every Kingdom Hearts games, I feel like at the beginning of the game I can't do anything. I never felt that way in this one, and I like that. No, don't unsubscribe. Oh, you can unsubscribe if you really want to. Second of all, I like... This is going to sound like a weird statement, but I like how I have options of avoidance. So there's three things that I've noticed in my playthrough that allow me to not take damage. First is obviously blocking, which I refuse to do. In fact, I literally have it unequipped. Second is just dodging, but the dodging iframes aren't excessive like they were in, say, Birth by Sleep. Third is animations. I'm going to activate such and such form, and those animations have priority, which for those who don't know what that means that happens regardless of all other things, before all other things. And you're invincible while it's happening. So anybody who's paying attention to me, especially when I was starting to do the really hard stuff, like the last few Xehanort fights, I was using transformations and whatnot frequently as a live cooldown, rather than as anything else. I like that. I like having those options and availability of doing that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're still respawning. Where is this? Help. It says there's one here. It says right near the exit of the toy store. I'm not seeing it, and I'm I'm still killing stuff.
Might be like right outside.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm worried I'm being in combat is causing the issue, which is why I'm trying to kill all these things. As an aside, also, one more thing about the combat that I really enjoyed. Near as I can tell, this is probably the first Kingdom Hearts game that I've played where multiple playstyles are actually, feasible, rather than just being challenge moding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably wrong about that, and that's fine.
I mean, you can set yourself up to be effectively a mage.
Mm-hmm. A full-on mage. Well, okay.
MP Thrift and other
yeah.
like that. Did you see that video I linked?
I did, yeah. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sure thing, Zalok. Hang on, let me pause the game really quick. Okay, I do have to exit combat. That's kind of what I figured. Thank you, Zalok. Thank you very, very much, as ever. Much appreciate those subs. Thank you. Especially now, since I've officially applied at the apartment I want to move into. Well, I haven't been accepted yet, but we've applied.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be an up of about $700 a month if I get this place. As in $700 more a month than what I'm currently paying.
Right.
Mario Odyssey. So I like options, and like you said, you can actually play a full-on mage. You can actually play a full-on melee, and you can play a hybrid, and I do like that. Let me explain by contrast. In 358, in my opinion, playing as anything other than a mage was just a waste of time. Things had just so much health, and you had to get very specific pieces in order to be an effective melee in that game, that I just gave up, because mage was just ridiculously stronger than everything else to such an extensive degree.
Yep.
In Birth by Sleep, the dodge spec, I mean, everyone makes fun of that, right? You just dodge and shot lock, and that's all you do, right? In this one, I felt like I could actually be a melee and work, and be a mage and work. Now, obviously, I went with melee in my playthrough, but you get the point. So... Oh, and finally, there's a lot of cool factor. I like cool factor.
Yeah.
I just got a new patron. I'm not going to say out loud.
Nice. Nice.
Because I never know if people want their names said out loud. But thank you if you happen to be watching right now. I used every Keyblade except for when I got to the hard stuff, because then I needed the actually good Keyblade. Yeah, I said it that way. No, I'm kidding. I also no. I'm sorry. That is another thing I like.
No, you didn't get the cooking Keyblade or the classic Kingdom
That's
Keyblade.
true. That's true. And I never will. I do have to actually say though, that's another thing. I like how the Keyblades aren't just different stats. They play differently. That's awesome.
I mean, even ignoring the transformations, they have different abilities on them, just like KH2, that encourage different playstyles.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we're finally out of combat, guys. That's not what I meant to hit. But to explain what I mean, like it's the Assassin's Creed Origins thing. You know, the sword feels differently from the claws, which is this thing, which feels differently from the spear, which is this thing, which feels differently from the hammer, and so forth and so on. I like that a lot. Now, where is this thing? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, no wonder.
I did find that video I was mentioning earlier. It's by KZ.
Woo.
He spams fire against Dark Inferno and wrecks him. Just take a look at that MP meter for a good example.
Oh my god!
I mean,
this looks like fun. Honestly, Nerdman, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think I like the idea, but it's mostly because the core premise is flawed, not that your idea is flawed. I don't like what they did with Kairi at a baseline, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I like about this game. With very few exceptions, I could cancel out of what I'm doing to do something else, and that's always a big deal for me. Mm-hmm. Occasionally I did get locked in. I actually commented on that, the button confirmation clicking causing it to just buffer.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I could just be like, nope, I want to do this now. Nope, I want to do this now.
Thank you.
I wanted to make a comparison earlier. Okay, so I'm a Smash fan. You guys probably know that.
This is true.
I would honestly equate KH2 to Melee. KH2 Final Mix specifically to Super Smash Bros. Melee in terms of its combat depth and responsiveness and all that kind of stuff. This game I would relate to Ultimate, one step down from that.
Oh, that's true.
To see what you guys think of that.
Well, you process that. I have to acknowledge that Huanta is right. I didn't do flow motion, and I never will.
Yeah, that too.
Donald. 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 Donald! Donald! Okay, I'll do it. Fine, I'll do it myself. Because I'm secretly Thanos, guys. I've been meaning to tell you that. Don't worry, I'm not going to snap the universe in half. I have a brain.
And yeah, I do agree with who said it earlier. Someone said we're never getting KH2 combat ever again. Again, it's the melee thing. It's probably something that is not necessarily happening due to circumstances of the development team or Nomura's decisions or some combination thereof.
I would just laugh. So I've long suspected that there's like a poster somewhere at Square Enix headquarters that says, "Never do the same thing twice."
I would be shocked.
Because, I mean, that's true for so many of their franchises. I mean, I've been saying that about the FS.
The only one that it's not is Dragon Quest, I'd say.
Yeah. I noticed that, actually, Dakota, and I've used that to my advantage, in fact. Is Roxas having two Keyblades a plot hole? Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
It's a plot hole or retcon, take your pick.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, so I'll excuse it, kind of, but... yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a thing. That was from Union Cross. Follow up there.
Yeah, that was from Union Cross. Everything from the white-haired boy in the scarf up to the point where Sora does that attack is a Union Cross thing.
Yar. Which was almost perfect. Almost. The gameplay side of that was just kind of lacking, in my opinion.
Yeah. And again, I wish they'd implemented my idea.
I would also say, this. I'm sure Takoida's with me on this, I feel like this game could have done a lot more world building. So much more world building.
Mm-hmm. Considering just how many more, or how much more power they have at their disposal with the PS4, they could do a lot more.
I am with the world, the Lindblom effect, which
yeah,
was
the
consistent.
detail is nice, but actually, following that up in the story.
Well, the obvious answer for why he's Lushu instead of the Master Master is they're both the same person. Da, 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 da. Uh-oh. Did I lose you? I lost you. Come back, Rex. Okay, you're back. You're back. You're back.
Oh, okay. I mean, while he does act more like the Master of Masters, it is feasible to say that Lushu picked up on his mannerisms and kind of ran with them.
Yeah. I mean, considering I've actually already heard people theorize that actually is the Master of Masters having hopped into Lushu and has been body hopping ever since.
Yeah, it could be. Rex really is the case of the show. I really am. I mean, aside from the Kingdom Hearts 3 hate.
Well, I mean, he secretly does hate Kingdom Hearts 3. He's just been... it's under the surface, How do I get to the wetlands? It'd be sure nice if I could pull up a large version of the map. Wouldn't that be great?
Of course you follow me. They all do.
Even Alarak agrees. Alright, hang on. Who was that? Hey, Larian. Yeah, they could have done more. I mean, that sounds like a weird complaint to have to some people, but I'm glad that at least some people understand they could have done more. Because they could have.
Yeah.
This was the perfect time for that. It's for... Okay, so who is this? It's Darth Trinius! Oh my god, it's totally true! No, dude. No, there's no way.
I mean, I love this game, and I still think they could have done a lot more.
Hell, this is my second favorite Kingdom Hearts game, and I still think they could have done a lot more. Darth Trinius... DMC5, thank you very, very much, Darth Trinius. As ever, I'll be putting that towards Ren. I mean,
maybe Lushu just takes after Master of Masters because he looks up to him. Yeah, that's about what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
What can you say about the progression of Axel as a character?
I mean, he basically became the fourth wall breaker.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually okay with, because that kind of suits him.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish he did more. In all seriousness, though, I feel like after spending basically the entire game in the... What's the thing from DBZ?
Hyperbolic time chamber.
Spending the whole thing, in the hyperbolic time chamber, I wish that we had seen more from Kyrie
More
and
from
Axel.
him and Kyrie. Yeah.
It's like, why did you bother? What was the point of all that? Still, Axel was awesome in basically every scene he was in.
Yep.
Like, he was touching, he was funny. There it is. He was cool. You know, he hit the gamut. He was cool.
Yeah.
I've seen that theory too. Seen. Sorry.
As is, the game is too much about Flash. Arguably, yes. I'd say that it still had a lot of the substance to back it up, just not enough.
Oh, this looks like fun.
Do you think it's fair to say at this point that Nomura has fully embraced the shonen manga storytelling tropes for the Kingdom Hearts series?
I'm not the expert on those, so I'm going to defer to you on that.
I mean, he's been utilizing them for over a decade now, so I don't think it's necessarily accurate to say he's fully embraced them now. I mean, it's just kind of a take it or leave it thing. It's been there for a while. How was Shion brought back? Because you feel like you missed something? Okay, Shion was... Xemnas was brought forward from Kingdom Hearts days because, of course, time travel. Yeah.
Saying it real quick.
Since he was brought from that point in time, he actually had his memories of Shion intact. How? Yeah.
I mean, that does make a degree of sense. The moment of removal hadn't happened yet.
Right.
It's just that... I actually have wondered before if what you just said is the only reason the time travel exists. And I still don't think it needs to, but whatever. Moving on.
So, using those memories, he had Vexen create replicas, obviously. One of those replicas became Shion. Now, that's not the full story, because apparently something happened with Sora's heart to kind of make that Shion the way that she is.
If I was to theorize on that, I'd say that that is the answer to something I've been talking about a long time, and that's the missing minutes in Dream Drop Distance. So for those of you not aware of what I'm talking about, there's actually a period of time in Dream Drop Distance where Sora gives into darkness and they take him to make him a new vessel. And then an unknown period of time passes, which I call the missing minutes, before he is actually found and rescued by Riku. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to make him my vessel, even though I had all this time to do it in. And I have theorized for a long time that something happened in that period of time.
Maybe the third heart was never Shion at all. Maybe it's Ephemer. There is no basis for that.
I'm just going to say this again.
And yeah, I mean, there are Union Cross elements in the present day.
And there are.
And they work, but Ephemer...
Ephemer worked fine when he was like, hi. Oh, you're right, Amadeus. Sorry, I'll start casting magic next time I'm in form. I'll do it right now. Well, except I can't. Damn. What was the wild card oh my god. Luxord gave to Sora? I have no idea.
I like how we both just resigned to not pronouncing that correctly. That's our Eris for this series, guys.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, if he keeps coming back in the future, I might force myself to get used to that, but Luxord just doesn't work for me.
He is playing. I'm not sure which direction he's in, but Lore is the one playing.
It's all Rax. I've always been his puppet. He's the Xehanort here.
The wild card is a MacGuffin for later Kingdom Hearts games. The wild card is likely a future plot point.
I mean, I agree, and it's also worth noting that, and I know this is a very minor complaint, but I think they did a little bit too much establishment of Kingdom Hearts 4. Obviously, name pending in this game. They did some good concluding, which is why it's not a negative, but it's just like, and there's this girl, which we're never going to mention the name of, and we're going to bring her up like 7 times throughout the course of the game. And then there's this, there's the wild card, there's the fact that Luxord and, let's see, it was Luxord, Larxene, Demyx, and Marluxia were all from the old times. And then there's the fact that Demyx is just kind of, you notice how he just kind of left the story, right?
Lore's to my left. Got it.
He might be
Thank you,
mirrored.
because yeah, it's been on and off mirrored for the entirety of the premiere run.
Oh yeah, and what is Kingdom Hearts? We still don't know.
Yeah.
When did Kingdom Hearts 1 come out? I know now, without a doubt. Kingdom Hearts is the tower. Okay. I want to go to the tower. I'm sorry. So the reason that bugs me so much is because I am a world builder at heart. And the rule banks 0 for world building is making everything fit together and make sense together, even if it's not obvious at first. And there's just gaping holes in Kingdom Hearts setting. They're not plot holes per se, they're just not there. You know?
Mm-hmm. By the way, Takoida, what you did there is a fallacy.
What do you do?
Pointing to the Kingdom Hearts thing and then saying there's no substance for the entire game based on this one plot point. I do agree there's no substance to the whole Kingdom Hearts thing. I do agree there's no substance to a couple of other plot points. But
for me, I would say that, I mean, it's obvious. I've said this like 4 times. The absence of substance is in the world building. There's a lot of characterization and character arcs, and a lot of thematic. In fact, probably arguably too much thematic, and a weirdly high emphasis on plot, which is just kind of weird when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, most JRPGs don't actually focus on the plot all that much.
I thought it was an afterlife for Hearts. Did they go into Kingdom Hearts? What they did was they traveled back to Xehanort's a vision of Xehanort's childhood.
Did I? No. There it is. Okay, found it. We're cool. I'll cast this time, Amadeus, I swear. Actually, I actually agree with you, Amadeus. Actually. Because it kind of feels like Kingdom Hearts, every time it's shown up, has just been, and now I will use this to do something totally unrelated.
Yeah, and now the plot device.
Yeah, it's a MacGuffin in almost the traditional sense of the word.
Yep. This Kingdom Hearts thing has a real Maltese Falcon Ark of the Covenant vibe. Props if any of you get the reference.
So there's thunder. Here's fire. Oh, geez, hang on. Let's try that again. Here's fire. And here's blizzard. And here's water. Here's water. Here's water. There we go. Here's heal. Give me a second. I know I need to do arrow on these things. I don't have it queued. I'm also out of mana right now. No! God damn it. I was going to do Firaza, but then I screwed up. I'm going to have to do Blizzaza. Blizzaza. God, that sounds weird to say that.
Yeah. Indiana Jones? No. That's Guardians of the Galaxy that I'm referencing.
I would also say that I kind of dislike that we got a decent amount of basically every member of the organization except Xehanort, original Xehanort, until literally the end of the game.
Yeah, no kidding. Which, again, is why I'd, if I were directing this game or directing a final mix, use an extended version of Scala to both, give people that exploration fix that they want and flesh him out.
Yeah, no kidding. Which one, Amadeus? For there are so many. About Daybake being part of... God damn it! Being a part of stun locking. I can't pronounce it.
Scala. Just say Scala.
So, Daybake being part of Scala, honestly, that just... If anything, I feel like that was a bit of a missed opportunity. Because I feel like they should have put a little bit of each of the in-between worlds there. Not just, Daybreak. As is, it's such a minor thing that all I think is that's an architectural similarity. In other words, that people from Scala went and made Daybreak Town the end. And that's as far as that goes.
I think it was... I think it's reversed there. People from Daybreak Town built Scala on top of Daybreak Town after the Keyblade War.
That's even more terrifying.
So we find out more about Zigbar.
Yeah.
Shadow, I would say leave the stream. I do not want that to be spoiled for you.
Zigbar is secretly... I'm not gonna... He's a sled! Zigbar was his sled the whole time! There we go.
Xehanort said that Scala was the nexus of all worlds. I don't remember him saying that. I remember him saying it was a seat of power for Keyblade wielders, but otherwise...
Well, he mentioned this is where they built all the other worlds. Although, now that I think about it, that does make sense, that the survivors in Daybreak Town built Scala, and from there they built the other worlds.
Right.
I don't know how. How do you build a world in Kingdom Hearts? World building! Literally.
Well, I mean, building a city like that is not necessarily infeasible, but I'd say they bridged the connections to other worlds.
Yar. If I'm being completely honest, if I was just handed the reins of the world building, I would say that the survivors from, Unchained... yes. Wait, no. What was the first one? The browser one?
Key.
The survivors from Key are the ones who sat it down and was like, okay, we gotta fix all this crap. This all went completely wrong. And so they reached out and effectively pulled a Final Fantasy XIV, or a Final Fantasy IX, or several other things I could mention, where they took ideas and thoughts and used those to craft what would eventually become worlds, like, the fantasy stories becoming an actual version of them, effectively turning into the Disney version of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, okay, now we got these worlds, and we're totally separate from the darkness, which is what we wanted, for whatever reason. We're cool. Xemnas built the world that never was. I mean, he did. But, I don't know.
Okay, so yes, he did say it was the place that other worlds sprang from. Thank you, I must have missed that. Do you want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build a snowman? Ah!
No, shut up.
That's true. The books were said to have the power to create worlds, by which they
create
mean
worlds,
datascapes. But
Yeah.
As an aside, you'll notice that there's 7, 13, 50 dangling plot threads left after this game.
Yeah. I mean, you and I have both kind of... I wouldn't say resigned ourselves to the fact that this isn't the conclusion, but simply the next Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah. Is it here? Or is it the other way?
But at the same time, I would have liked a little bit more wrapping up and a little less, Kingdom Hearts 4 establishment.
Agreed.
Like, if they had just left it at the epilogue and the secret ending, I would have been fine with that.
Yeah. And yes, I know the Frozen 2 thing went live. I haven't seen it yet. This way, maybe? Where is this? I need to go to the tank yard. Sure, we'll just go this way. So, I was going to say something. Oh, yeah. So let's actually sit here and think about how many plot threads we have still left dangling. There's Demyx. All of the people who were just reconstructed, which include Lariam and Elrina and Unknown.
Yep.
Whoever Luxord is.
Yep.
Then we have...
Luxord's wild card.
Yep, the wild card, which is just still sitting there. We've got, obviously, Lushu. And the return of the Foretellers, which I'm just going to lump into one. We've got Sora off in the Nomuraverse. We've got... what else? I know there's others. Help me out here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. We have the girl.
Yeah, that's it. Yep, the girl.
Ask for better friends.
Do you put up the VODs for streams, by the way? Yeah, they go on the Stream Archives channel.
They've already started going live, in fact.
Yep. Yeah. Wildcard is a teaser for Chain of Memories 2.
No!
And I will do horrible things that I won't mention on stream.
Oh, yes, Ava's missing. That is another one.
Yep.
Ah, yes, the spirit in... Ah, that's true. The one we assume is Trilexia, but we don't actually know.
Yeah.
Oh, I already fought this one. Ah, whatever. This was the worst of these fights for me that I did prior to getting Ultima Weapon. So we'll see how well we do now that we have it. Still hits like a truck. Jesus.
I'm so happy we're officially calling this the Nomuraverse. I mean, it just rolls off the tongue, and it's a fitting moniker.
Yep.
They just released the Frozen 2 trailer. Yes, thank you, Nerdman. You're probably like the 50th person to tell
Take a
us.
drink. Take a drink. Jesus. Oh, I should have shot locked it. Damn. Now, actually, so Lord of Haramon asked something that I was going to ask too. Do you think we should?
About to get to that.
Yeah. Do you think we should have a happy ever after and just leave all the characters be for the future, or do you think we should return to them? No, I'm going to keep quiet about that, while other people answer.
I think we should return to them as side/background characters, similar to what we did with Ienzo in this game. But that's the most involvement I'd give them. Aside from Sora and Riku, I think that everyone's stories have wrapped up.
I tend to agree. I personally think that we should just leave them be. Mm-hmm. And in fact, to be completely blunt, I already know where I would take the story next, and it has to do with the Nomuraverse. Which is weird because that's only one of, like, we're up to, I think, 8 plot threads that are dangling at the moment.
Yeah.
Arendelle. We're not just doing these randomly, by the way. We're getting all the reports, which I haven't read yet.
Mm-hmm. I do hope Nomura went to the CEOs to pitch Verum Rex in order to develop it as a proper standalone game. I'd be down for that.
I mean, it's not like he is the one who would make that decision, so yeah.
Yeah.
Gorge. Yeah, it's my favorite world, guys. The more I think about the Frozen world, the less I like it.
Yeah, seriously. I mean,
It's-
like I said, it's a hallway. It retells the movie. It doesn't even retell the movie properly.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, I want to compare that. So several people, including Django, who's probably already left, mentioned how you don't. This game did a lot of recapping, and I commented on that as well, and I think that was a bad thing. It's weird because, in a way, they kind of. That's great. They kind of did the exact thing I wanted them to do with the Pirates section, just not in the way I would want them to do it. Because the Pirates section wasn't like the epic conclusion of the Pirates section, but they didn't summarize anything.
Right.
So it basically turns out to be completely wrong. Because it's like, hey, here's this who? I need to go call the Brethren Court, which we never actually see on camera.
Yeah.
Only referenced 3 times. What?
And then they cut to the scene between the 6 people for some reason.
Yeah, for
Like,
absolutely
that's
no
completely
reason.
Disconnected.
Up climbing.
Where am I going?
We can do it. Come on.
Oh, it's in the labyrinth. Okay,
It is in the labyrinth, yep.
In we go. I'm not sure if he's going to have any issues crossing with an IP that's under the same company he is also in.
And that he created.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a huge issue, unless he tries to leave Square and pull it to Bada.
Yeah, considering he's already, crossed the world. The world ends with you with Kingdom Hearts. There's effectively no barrier there.
Oh, speaking of which, there's a spell I didn't show off, and I want to show it off. That would be Arrow. Which is A. Okay.
It's so weird that they followed World's End instead of Dead Man's Chest. It's a movie 12 years old that was convoluted.
I'm not sure I agree with the convoluted part, but I do think it's weird that they just skipped 2 entirely.
Skipped, yeah.
And did a really bad, way too long musical summarization of 2.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of weird decisions with Pirates, which is doubly weird because a lot of obvious effort was put into the gameplay side of that.
Right.
I mean, the graphics were actually legitimately well done. You had a surprisingly huge area. I've actually spent some time exploring that Assassin's Creed 4 style, and it is actually fun, and there's a decent amount of stuff to do. And it's just... What?
Is KH3 projected to be financially successful?
Yes.
Let me put it to you this way. Kingdom Hearts 3 sold 5 million copies in Japan in its first week.
Yeah, they're doing fine financially.
If that's not financially successful, I don't know what is.
Although, I do have to say this, I'm sorry for bringing this into this, but there is a company, which shall go nameless, which just had a record ever earnings for the last year and decided to lay off 775 people.
Yeah, screw them.
I've actually decided I'm not even going to talk about that during Lore Week because I can't without it making me feel physically ill.
I wouldn't be able to talk about that without swearing.
Where is this battle thing, guys? Help.
Down.
Down, comma, down. Yeah, I would say that Flynn's animations, I know that's such a weird thing to point out, but I noticed that too. In fact, I'm pretty sure I talked about that during the run. They were good.
Yeah, they were very good, yeah.
Like, consistently good. Pixar did actually help with this game, yeah.
Yep.
They've
Pixar
already...
did, and Disney Animation Studios, they both did.
Yeah, they've already released interviews and whatnot about what it was like working with both teams and how incredibly bipolar it was working with the different teams.
Yeah.
Iraga in ultimate form. And I think it's the last spell I haven't shown off yet. Hover, hover, hover. I'm a Verendi.
Valvedrix says, does that mean you're permanently staying with FF14?
No.
I mean, unless WoW continues to go down the toilet.
Well, I mean, I have no plans to go back to WoW.
Yeah.
Because, ugh.
Of course, you probably have the most friends who actually play 14
Yeah.
in comparison to any other MMO. Sora is essentially dead now, right? Based on the secret movie, I'm going to assume the next KH will have something like Sora playing the Reaper's game and trying to come back to life. Yeah, that's my tentative theory.
Mine too, consequently. Okay, apparently I can't do anything with this. Alright.
You just need to dash into... Oh, you don't have the flow motion pole spin thing on.
Which one's that one? Oh, hey! I just got Magic Thrift.
Just took a moment to watch the Frozen 2 trailer. I now see why they pushed Frozen so hard in KH3. Yeah, I kind of understand it.
And by pushed, you mean made the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I still would have liked if they did the Toy Story thing. Toy Story was an original world, and it's still there to kind of promote Toy Story 4.
Apparently that's the wrong one. God damn it.
And Versus 13 had a big emphasis on death. Could be why Verum Rex is used. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
There we go. Ugh. So here's a question for everyone, especially you, Rex. So Q walks up. It's like, hey, what's up? You have to decide.
I run away.
Nope, you're back.
Damn it.
You have to decide which specific thread they follow next for Kingdom Hearts. Of the, like, I think we're up to 8.
Oh, God.
Which thread do you follow in the next game?
See, that's a tough one for me because following the Union Cross stuff could lead to the Kingdom Hearts MMO. Following the Nomuraverse stuff is more interesting plot-wise. I mean, they're both interesting plot-wise, but...
Where is this thing? Sorry. Did I already get this one?
Let's see.
Yep, I already got that one. The box, which we still don't know what's in it.
I mean, that's kind of connected to the Lushu foreteller thing, so...
What? I mean, no, they're still separate from the other toys. I'm sure it'll be sorted out in Toy Story 4, which is coming out this year, isn't it?
Yes, it's coming out this summer.
Yeah.
And yeah, because Bo Peep is a part of that. So
I may have to see it alone. Sadness. I hope not.
really,
Well, it depends on how my moving situation goes.
ah,
Okay, for realsies, where is this stupid thing?
um,
Jason Bauer says behind the portal where I entered. That's
Oh.
way back there.
what? Am I seriously just that dense? I mean, wouldn't come as a surprise to me, but
Insert Pikachu image here. No. So I'm not sure what I would go with. Like if I had to pick one thing. But
yeah,
I,
neither am I.
But I have to be honest. In a real life perspective, which I know I just mentioned a Q-Snap, but in a real life perspective, I'd probably go with the Nomuraverse.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that has the most potential and will allow, the creative team to do the most of their own thing without external influence. Because to be completely blunt, I think the external influence thing has really started to become a very serious problem in this franchise.
I was about to mention that, and I mean, Frozen, the world you're in right now, is literally the air example of that.
Yeah, I forget the phrasing, but it's something like, "Oh my God, this is very important. We don't want you to ruin the world, so you have to do your own thing." Versus, "Oh my God, this is very important, and we don't want to ruin the world, so you have to do the exact same thing the movies did." Now, Seed asks, you can 3 things to fix them in Kingdom Hearts 3. Which 3 do you pick?
Kairi,
I know my first one.
the time travel.
Yeah, I mean, if I could just adjust that, the Omega 13, the completely unnecessary Omega 13.
That's probably the third one for me.
God, I hate that so much. So yeah, the Omega 13 thing, Kairi. And what would my third be?
Actually, no. I wouldn't do, like, Xemnas, Xehanort, all that kind of stuff in terms of the time travel. My third... Fix the Disney worlds.
I would presume based on this you could only fix one.
Fix Frozen.
Yeah, unfortunately that makes it easy, doesn't it? As an aside, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I actually imagine there's plenty of people who are listening to this either on the VOD or live who understand what I mean by this. Every now and again, creators, writers, artists, musicians, just prefer to work on their own thing and do their own thing rather than work on a compilation thing or something written by someone else. I have a weird feeling that although Nomura obviously cares about Kingdom Hearts, he wants to do his own thing at this point.
That's been apparent since 2006 with Versus.
Yeah.
And then, having him be wrenched away from that project. I mean, we saw that bitterness manifest in this game, so...
Omega 13 is from a movie called Galaxy Quest, which I highly recommend. That it's a device that rewinds time 13 seconds to basically give you a cosmic do-over.
Yeah.
And that's effectively what they do in this. It's not 13 seconds, but that's what I refer to in Omega 13.
I don't know why I didn't pick up on that when you said it. Because, I love Galaxy Quest.
It's a good movie. Even to this day. I rewatched it for the Star Trek Ruminations. And I was thinking, Star Trek Ruminations? Just trust me.
Please no MMO? Why not? Just out of curiosity, why not?
That is a good question. I'm with that question, too. Speaking as someone who's been into MMOs since 98.
Yeah, of course, I am kind of an FF14 fanatic, so I suppose I'm a little bit biased on that. Any reason why no FF characters in this game? No reason that we were actually given. Nomura was actually excited for the FF characters inclusion and said, we've got big things planned. So I think it was just, lack of time combined with scrapped resources, simply because they may not have fit.
Yeah. As usual. Oh my god, there's a map! I didn't know the Labyrinth had a map. Yeah. As usual, I wish I had power, because then I would love to go to Nomura and just ask him straight up, what was the reason? Why was FF cut?
Yep.
I'm not judging, I'm not yelling, I want to know the why.
I'm sure we'll get the answer in a later interview, maybe.
Oh, I'm sure. Hybrid worlds like a pirate Atlantic world? Boom! Sold. I'm serious.
The apparent reason is the guys upstairs pulled FF2B DLC. Do you have a source on that, or is that your own speculation?
I mean, I would buy that too, but again, speculation.
I'd buy that, but...
Aha! Thank you, Twilight Jericho, for slowly leading me here. Jesus! This one was way in here. Okay, now let's not die.
MMOs are server dependent on being online. That's Scene's biggest issue. He's a big proponent of offline games. See, so am I, but we already have a core game that shut down and was rebooted.
We also are in an era in which, with the right setup, it's possible for them to just kind of keep going.
Yeah, private servers exist, emulators exist. Hell, Asheron's Call is getting that treatment.
Well, I shouldn't say anything. I know nothing.
Okay, yes, but
I know nothing. No, I have not done anything with AC emulators. I can say that honestly. But yeah, as I pointed out before, it's actually easier than it ever has been. This is the other point, to legally allow for emulation. It's just they don't, because I'm not actually sure why anymore.
yeah.
Ever since I looked into the actual law on that. Yeah, I mean, that's a valid answer. Warner Brothers could go burn. But yeah, ever since I looked into the actual legal writing on that, I was like, huh, they aren't required to do that. They're just being stupid. Weird. Who knew that corporations could be stupid, guys? Anyways.
It's from Zeal, a Twitter leaker that has a very good record. He seems to have some inside sources, and has said that Nomura wanted the FF games to be in KH3, but Square Enix forced it to be pulled for DLC. He also leaked the secret ending about a week early. How did he leak the secret ending? Because, as far as I'm aware, that came out on the 31st everywhere.
Oh yeah, can I just say that now that I have seen everything except the secret reports, I am astonished I avoided spoilers for this game.
Yeah, no kidding.
For like
I
a
thought people
month.
would be bombarding you for this game.
Now, Valvedrick said, in fairness, you have follower mode on. Yeah, but that's actually normal now. We left it at the 10-minute thing.
He's talking more about like private messages and stuff.
Oh,
That
yeah.
stuff is very easy to get into.
Oh, yeah, no. People could have just spoiled me everywhere on Tumblr, on Twitter. It would have been super easy for people to do that. And they didn't, because you're awesome. But, I do still stand by my statement that despite the fact that we had follower mode, we always have follower mode on, so I don't think that's significant. If someone really wanted to spoil, they could have.
It's because of the secret ending leak that the secret ending was included as a patch. Actually, no, it wasn't. The game was distributed early. Well, I should say, the game was stolen and distributed early by a thief.
Yeah, let's use the
That
correct
is why
terminology
they
here.
actually locked everything behind a patch. Or I suppose I should say Nomura preempted that.
That's okay, Seemed. I forgive you. Would I change the way in which Aqua and Ventus returned? No, and yes. Because, and I was actually, if you remember, this is when I codified a negative. The cutscene incompetence in Ventus's return was a little aggravating. The core
You're
beat,
fine, Scene. I'm just correcting you.
the core beats were fine in Ventus's return, in my opinion. But Aqua doesn't need to be that pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sora, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now to figure out how to get out of here.
I admit I had to hold it in during the premiere run to not spoil. Yeah, so did I.
And I
mean,
appreciate it.
I am probably the biggest mentioner of this premiere run, unfortunately.
That is true.
Like, I do regret that.
I'll just go ahead and admit
And,
that. That is true. I'm not yelling at you. It's just a fact.
And even then, I still managed to keep it mostly quiet.
Nope. Not this way.
So many characters didn't get a chance to shine / do something cool. Yeah, I'm really disappointed by that.
I've come up... I'm sorry. I've been thinking about this whole time. I know what my third thing would be.
What is that?
It's kind of a big thing, so this is cheating. But
Of course it is. I mean, I said fix the Disney worlds, so...
Multiple playables. That was my biggest want for this game, and it didn't follow through.
Fair enough.
I want to be able to have, and I've already kind of mentioned how I could structure this. So rather than getting Aqua and Ventus and Axel and Lee, or excuse me, and Kyrie and everyone like basically towards the end of the game, have most of those scenes happen towards the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you go, and it's like, all right, we need to go and we need to find these worlds and we need to find the other princesses because the organization's doing something. And then Axel and Kyrie go to Tangled, I'm thinking. Help me out. Where should everyone go? Because you see what I would do. I would split them up.
I know exactly what you would do, yeah.
And then, like, Riku and Mickey. Where would they go? Honestly, if Frozen was also restructured...
I would say Frozen, yeah.
Yeah. Because Riku would be the perfect person to reach out.
Between Riku and Elsa, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Roxas and, I guess Shion. I guess maybe it would just be
I'd say Toy Box for them.
Yeah.
The replica thing.
Very good, very good. So then we have, who else is left? Help me out. Who am I missing?
Did you
Aqua.
say Aqua?
No, I didn't say Aqua. I didn't say Aqua and Ventus. And I'm okay with Terra waiting till later. I really am. But Aqua and
Terra
Ventus
is a different thing entirely.
Yeah. But, and obviously one of them would have to be Sora. Sorry, I should mention that. I think Sora should probably be...
Big Hero 6.
Yeah, he just fits that too well. Like, there's a lot of parallels between Sora and Hiro.
Yep.
Aqua and Ventus and Pirates. See, I was thinking pirates or monsters, and I'm debating between both of those. I am actually lost. Sora also fits pirates really well, too. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have some extras here, so we could just have, like, change up the dynamic a little bit, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it. Okay, let's try this. Let's see what this does. Nothing. Oh, never mind.
I'd probably split Aqua and Ventus. Have Ventus go to... Did we say Tangled?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Sora would be Herx's world, obviously, but that's the tutorial, so that just makes a different sense. I would have Herx's world before we get the rest of the team scenes. Then I'd have the rest of the team scenes, then I would move with the rest of the worlds.
Yeah.
No skateboard section, sorry. Is there just a teleport out of world button?
Sadly, no.
Oh my god.
Okay, let me see if I can try to help you navigate. Did you find the battle gate?
Yeah, I've found it like 10 minutes ago. I've been trying to get out of this place.
This place all looks the damn same. Forgive me.
Oh, that's true. That's brilliant. So, okay, yeah, Sora and Monsters, Inc. makes sense. I'm with you on that. What I would probably do is go ahead and make it so that, like, some of the later worlds have Sora plus another party member, plus make Donald and Goofy. So, like...
Kind of like what they did for the Keyblade Graveyard.
Exactly.
But, expanded a bit.
Yeah. Do I think it would be a good idea?
That's not really helpful.
Okay. Do I think it would have been a good idea for Square to have new people lead and direct the spin-off games to avoid bust factor with no more in the series? Yes and no. I would still so I'm a very big proponent of the concept of a mainliner. Like a huge proponent. I have said for years that some of the biggest problems in major franchises is the absence of a good mainliner.
Yep.
So, that being stated, as long as Nomura was remaining the mainliner, yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah. Like if
thank God.
Nomura was still writing and Tai Yasue was doing the actual directing, I'd be down for that.
Oh yeah, the fact that we didn't get to play as the Lingering Well was just disappointing. And he just shows up out of nowhere for no reason and is never seen again. Hi, I'm the Lingering Well, bye.
Yeah.
Why did he show up this time?
Yeah, I mean, my theory is just that, a theory. So.
A Rax theory. Thanks for watching.
No, shut up.
I'm getting you sued this time, not me. Tamura should be on FF7 after he finishes the big DLC that he's already hinted. Whatever that is.
Yeah. And it's worth noting, people think that a game director can only work on one project at a time. Like, I've seen some people say that, Nomura won't be able to work on the next Kingdom Hearts game until, like, 2035 or something like that, because he's going to be working on FF7, The World Ends With You 2, which I guess is not happening now that Nomura-verse is a thing. So on and so forth. No, I think it's going to be, he's working on FF7 while he's working on this DLC, and then he'll be working on Nomura-verse while he's working on FF7, and so on and so forth.
No, I do not, little Billy. If Lurker was here, he could help you, because he's the one who gave me that. Which of the games was best for Sora's character development?
Calm.
Yeah, Calm.
And it's sad because it was erased.
Yep. I would also argue, in an extremely not actually answering the question, technically kind of a way, Coded. Because that wasn't Sora.
Yeah, I can't count that.
Prepare to set sail.
Where are we going? Oh, never mind. I actually do want to go there. No, stop. Crap. How do I get to...
Miyazaki worked on Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 at the same time. Yeah, exactly, same sort of thing. And I know you mentioned that Nomura needs a vacation. I agree. That man works way too hard.
I wouldn't know anything about that. Okay, real talk for a second. My friends were actually making fun of me just last night. I'm not going to mention the topic of conversation because it's actually a controversial topic. But basically, we were talking about people who make a lot of money and don't do work. And you can infer the rest of that as you prefer.
Yep.
And they were discussing the nature of that and what kind of mentality that took. And I was commenting on it with, a tone of ludicrousness. Like, I don't understand that. And both Pax and Gary just started making fun of me. I'm like, what? And I'm like, you are the only person. You are the overworker from hell. If you died tomorrow, it would take people a year to notice. And I'm like, well, yeah so... Anyways.
Seriously, Lord, take a freaking vacation.
Never. I'll take a vacation when I win the lottery. Because then I can afford to. And then I'll keep streaming because I want to. Right, I forgot.
How much more do I need to donate for you to take a vacation?
23 million.
I can't do that. I can work a lot of miracles. I can't do that. Japanese business culture probably won't let him until he's medically required to.
That is the thing.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Other way? This is the only... no, I have not, Mike. Although, while we're here...
No, I know where you're going. Go back to your ship.
Okay. I will do that in just a second. But first I have to do the most amazing game ever. I'm ready.
But yeah, it's to the right. From personal experience, workaholics are unreasonable. Parlaying is useless. Use brute force. Yeah, Laura and I are not in the same room. I will just say that much.
I'm gonna win. I really am. Oh, whatever. As long as it gets it over with. Yay! Agreed, Caspian. If we were going to introduce multiple playables, I would make it so that at the end... That didn't count. At the end, we play as each person rather than Sora jumping in and saving each crew.
Yep.
No, it was actually 11 million, and technically it is still 11 million, little Billy. Taxes.
Yeah, taxes.
Yeah, I mathed it out. 23 million would give me 11 million because I live in the United States. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, wait a minute. Rich people all the time don't pay taxes. That is unfortunately very, very different.
That is also illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, no. This is heart-pounding adventure. So hang on. Someone said something here that I've missed. It was scened. Ah, okay. Yeah, what Little Billy says is basically accurate. If you already
Have money to make money. Yep.
Yeah. For example, if I won the lottery, I don't have to pay the taxes on that right now. But they will come after me for those taxes at some point or another because it's just too easy to track that and too hard to get around that. If a lump sum is dropped on you, you're going to pay the taxes for it.
Come to the Cayman Islands tax shelter where you pay 4% income tax.
Man, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
For the record, I pay
That is-
about 20%.
Mm-hmm.
This is quicker.
So getting off of real life stupid topics,
Yeah, we were going some. There was some that before I distracted.
Nomura being a workaholic. That's where we were.
Oh yeah, and him working on multiple projects at once.
Yep. Scene says it should be noted that the Osaka team made KH3, the Osaka team made COM 358, BBS, Coded, and DDD. Actually, they didn't make the DS games. That was a completely separate team. They outsourced those effectively.
Yeah.
The Tokyo KH team made 1 and 2. The Tokyo KH team also worked on Versus 13 before they were taken off and split to work on 15 with the Osaka team. The Tokyo team for the last year has been on FF7R, so hopefully FF7R has been the major project now and will be the quality we hope it is. Hope so.
There's only one way to know.
They've scrapped the work for that game so many times that I'm not really sure what to expect.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I'm not really that excited for it anymore. Like, it's a thing and it will eventually happen. I'm much more excited for other projects that Nomura has down the pipeline.
Yeah, I tend to agree, sadly. Ugh. I already played FF7.
Yeah, exactly. I already played FF7. I already know how that's going to go, and it will be interesting to see it changed, but it's not my top priority.
I have to admit, as someone who is a huge proponent of proper remakes, I'm down with the idea. I'm just not sure I'm with the execution.
Right, yeah. I think it's important to manage expectations about FF7's remake. It sounds like things might go badly. Even disregarding the things might go badly thing, managing expectations for highly anticipated video games is important. I've seen people with really bad expectations on Kingdom Hearts 3, for
Of course you
example.
follow me.
I saw someone
They
who
all
wanted
do.
30 worlds when it came to Kingdom Hearts 4 because people don't know how game development works. Speaking as someone who has done some game design and is trying to work on his own video game, that's not how it works.
No,
Not
no,
at
no.
all.
It's cool. We'll make it happen. It's cool. 40 worlds. All right, who just donated? Who dares? Oh. Ow.
Did KH3 sell well enough in the opening? I am worried it did. Some suits would look at it and get encouraged to make more games like that. Okay, Takoda, beyond the story, like, what is your biggest sticking point? Because this is a complete game with decent combat. I'd argue with a complete story, a decent story. And it sold 5 million in the first week in Japan, to directly answer your question.
I'll tell you exactly what I would want from Kingdom Hearts 3, assuming I hadn't already just played it. I would want it to stick the landing.
Fair enough.
You know?
I'd argue that it did, but it stumbled a bit.
I agree. Like, okay, you want to know what I wanted from Kingdom Hearts 3? Legit. You could use explanations rather than words. I wanted Resident Evil 2 with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Fair enough.
You know, I wanted God of War with Kingdom Hearts 3. I wanted something that just blew me away and was amazing and had a few niggles, because everything does, but that's it. Alright, so where am I going?
Okay, so you need to go. You need to sail forward a bit,
Okay,
and it should be a cave on your right.
gotcha. So, kind of screwed now because I went the wrong way. But that's okay, because I can make this work. I have the technology. Ahem. I don't remember where, Fuyuk, but there's actually those are specifically designed for announcements for StarCraft streamers. So I just grabbed them and used them. Put a Resident Evil world into Kingdom Hearts 4. No.
No. Doesn't fit the tone.
Invisible walls. As I slowly lose height. I'm gonna make it, guys. I'm gonna make it.
Why are you taking the long way around?
Well, because no one told me to go the other way. Ah, crap. So
if you turn around, you will make it back to your ship way faster than you will going around this island.
That was probably true at one point. Admittedly, I didn't think it would take this long to go all the way around the thing. Oh god, imagine like a fully parody Resident Evil, like full cheese. That might fit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the monkey zombies, huh? What are they gonna do? Eat our brains? No, don't be gross. What's wrong with you, Goofy?
Anyone gonna play Anthem? No.
I am.
I would be surprised if Anthem has anyone playing it after like a year.
Yeah, I would too. Especially after Apex, whatever it's called.
Apex Legends, yeah. I mean, that dethroned Fortnite in
a week.
Less than a weekend.
Although whether that'll stick or not is still a matter of debate. Like, heavy debate. Oh yeah, and the tofu guys would have to be there in the Resident Evil world.
Oh my god.
What do I think of getting all the ingredients necessary to lock the Ultima Blade? I'll let Rax answer that question.
I think it was fine. I think lore overstates the time commitment. I did it in a day, to be completely honest with you.
That's not... Okay. What the hell, game? There we go. I mean, no,
also, I did use Ultima on the battle gates, so I'm technically doing what you're doing right now, except I just did it legitimately.
Now, Rex is correct. This is nowhere near as bad as, for example, getting Ultima in 1 or getting Ultima in 2, both of which are grinds from hell.
Yeah.
God, the crafting grind in both those games is real, especially in 2. Oh my
I'd say
goodness.
especially in 1.
I remember...
Specifically.
Oh, okay. I've never actually done the final mix grind, so... But yeah, I believe you. But yeah, it would have only taken a day. I don't have a day.
True. I mean, you had yesterday.
Yep, and I spent yesterday at an apartment complex.
Good point.
Yeah. Something I've been meaning to do for about a month. And
has he read the secret reports yet? No.
No, I'm still earning them.
Yep.
Just what I'm doing. That was the whole point. Was while we discussed the series as a whole, I'd be getting the secret reports. Gotta admit, I didn't think it would take this long, but whatever. That frickin' labyrinth, good god.
Yeah. Maybe FF14 will get Nomura as a guest raid director at one point. If Yoshida actually manages to do that, he owns my soul at that point.
I mean, it'd be better than Nier. Excuse me.
It would be better than Nier.
Sorry.
I'm honestly shocked that they didn't do the Nier one, for Stormblood and then do
Kingdom Hearts for this. Yeah, I know development works months in advance, but you can plan for that sort of thing months in advance. I mean, I don't know. Hello, Baron. Analysis on the chess scene.
It's just a symbolic representation of the present.
Yeah.
Played in the past. Because prophecies.
Although, it is amusing to me that Light straight up cheated. Oh yeah, I just realized there's one other thing that this game disappointed me on, if I'm being honest.
What's that?
Light was good and Dark was evil.
Yeah, unfortunately that's true.
Like, I mean, obviously Riku's there, but at the same time, the dialogue and the characterization constantly showed Dark as a bad thing.
Yeah.
As I mentioned during the lead-up stream, 2 Sundays ago now?
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I was really hoping that, because I mentioned, the whole balance idea is my idea. Not the game hasn't really supported that. And I figured once Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, we'd decide whether or not balance is actually a good thing. We still don't really know, because they don't really address it, because it's just darkness is evil.
It's not that we just noticed now. I was keeping my mouth shut because I wanted Lore to experience, everything the game had to offer before making that judgment call.
Yoink selfie unlocked.
Did we talk about Lushu? We'll talk about Lushu after the secret reports. We're going to be talking more about some plot points after the secret reports are read because they are important.
I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. It only kills so quickly. By the way, thank you, Vigilant, very much for the donation. I don't think I said thank you, but I meant it. I swear, don't kill me. Yeah, I need 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 or 2 more. I'm not sure.
Riku is a guardian of light, not darkness.
Uh-huh.
That is true, but you got to remember that the guardians themselves are not pure light, just like the seekers are not pure darkness.
I will also say that it felt weird how multiple of the Org 13-2 were just like, yeah, no, I don't actually want to be,
I was just thinking that, yeah, like almost as if they were possessed.
Yeah, whatever. I do. I could say this is like my 7th change I'd make to the game at this point. I think basically all of us agree that Xehanort got off too easily, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am full-on copying from Final Fantasy VI here, and I'll admit that.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No, hear me out. But what I would have done, what I would have done, is I would have made it so that in the final battle, the actual final, but the flashy one, the one that isn't hard, the one that was just there for show, right? The Knights of the Round battle. I would have had that. Everyone shows up before that battle happens. Everyone is there as not a playable, but a party member for that battle, and then basically remove Ericus from the equation entirely. Xehanort gives his final speech, and he dies alone. I think that's why I say the FF6 thing, because that was the one thing that made Kefka so unique in FF6 specifically, is he was the one major character who was totally alone, who had no one else. And I like that idea for Xehanort, someone who has basically destroyed himself over the course of his life and career, specifically to make this happen, because he really believed that this was the way to go, because he just nosedived into this as hard as he possibly could, and have him have lost all his friends and all his connections, all his family, because of this search. Right?
Yeah.
Leave him broken, and then...
Yep.
Anyway, that's my take on it. Do I have
Would you still have Xehanort accept his defeat and give the Keyblade to Sora?
Yes.
Yeah, I would too. Have him have the Xemnas moment instead. We can still have the Xemnas moment. It's just Xehanort also gets one.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea that Xehanort is such a poisonous, caustic thing that he has actually made darkness worse over the last 80 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I actually do like that idea.
I mean, Star Wars has done similar things with the Force, kind of a feedback effect.
Mm-hmm. Depending on which exact continuity of Star Wars we're talking about at the time, but that's another topic.
True. Yeah.
That's another topic. I agree that Xehanort's a monster. I've been saying that for forever. But that doesn't mean he doesn't know when to quit.
Yeah.
I mean, to be perfectly blunt, I found it awesome when young Xehanort was completely unrepentant in defeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10. So I am missing those ones. Damn. Okay. Hang on. I mean, that's an incredibly horrible way of putting that, Surprise Ninja, but yes. So I need to go to here.
Isn't Xehanort obsessed to the point of unreasonableness? Takoida says.
I'd say that's a judgment call, which is why I hesitated so much there.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I just enjoy the idea of a villain rather than, no, this is impossible, or I cannot be defeated, just reaching a point where he's been defeated, I think it was 5 times in a row,
Yeah.
and then just finally it's just like, all right.
Yeah, I
Chunk.
mean, we have examples, even in real life, of people just, trying again and again and again, and finally just giving up,
Yeah. On the west side of the map? Okay. Why did you... whatever.
Why not enemies made of light? That would be interesting, as a stand-in for Heartless and Nobodies.
I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, I'd say keep the Unversed because Vanitas, all that connected to him. But Heartless and Nobodies, yeah, they've served their purpose, and why not? Oh, that's a lot of money.
Tazara, we've had this talk before. More than once, actually. Thank you, Tazara. Thank you very, very much. As ever, I do greatly appreciate that, especially right now, since my bills are going up on a long-term basis. So I appreciate the support. Thank you. What would you like to put that towards?
I appreciate you calling our ideas literary nonsense, Dakota. You're really rubbing off well on me right now.
Now,
I mean, I respect you, dude, but Jesus Christ. Just kind of tone it back a bit.
Now, there's one other thing I might do with Xehanort, other than the finally giving up, and that is the idea of him... It's actually similar to what Takoya was saying, just taking it a step further. Basically have him be like, but now I shall finally pull upon my true power, and nothing happens. Like, what? No, I have the power of Kingdom Hearts, and nothing happens. And basically, in other words, his tank is dry. Just to put it as simply as
fair
can.
enough, Dakota. I'm sorry for misquoting you. In a vacuum, it looked like you were calling our ideas literary nonsense.
Yeah, I thought he was too, admittedly. But, I like the idea of Xehanort being completely and utterly spent. And then just dying, I could literally see him kind of slowly crumbling up and just kind of curling into himself as he realizes he has spent everything, all his power, all his knowledge, all his hearts, all of Kingdom Hearts itself, literally burning his life essence. I mean, A, we know that's a thing in Final Fantasy, and B, we know that's a thing in Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
Until he is just finally gone, and in his last moments, he's just like, no, I'm not done yet. And then he literally just... I would have him have a different death animation than everyone else does. Maybe have him literally ash away Infinity War style. Something to indicate that he's just gone. Something like that.
Interesting.
You got it, Tazara. You suck. Thank you, Tazara.
The Ultimate Blade in this game should have been the Keyblade, or at least it should have been unlockable. I agree the Keyblade should have been unlockable, maybe probably as a post-game thing, but making it, obtainable through the Moogles,
And thank
I think
you,
it should-
Tazara, really.
I think it should literally just be you beat the game reward, here's the Keyblade.
Well, admittedly, Lord Harriman, that was actually one of my... see, I thought I already did 12, but I don't have it.
You did do 12.
I
It was
did
up
do
on the
12.
skyscraper.
Yeah, I did. So where's 12?
Go do 12 again.
Yeah,
Different save.
apparently, because it's not freaking there. Anyways, you're right, though. I did do this. In fact, I fought this multiple times on camera just to level.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I do... So Laird Harriman mentioned something that I would probably be more inclined to do if I was writing the whole series. And that would be... And I've talked about this before. We've talked about this before. Using Kingdom Hearts 3...
Succeeds
Yeah.
in changing the status quo and dies in the process.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, the idea would be for that to be effectively a good thing. It would still be a happy ending. It would just be, oh my god, And then he succeeds and, oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
No, that one, I see it.
I'd be down for that.
So which one would you pick if you had a choice? Him surrendering, him flailing and then infinitying out, or him succeeding and it being a good thing? If you were in charge.
I'd say succeed and then do the turn to ash thing.
Like he literally burns himself out doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I'm with that.
Nerdman says he's fine with how they did it in the game.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I have less issues with it than other people, and I'm still not okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's over.
How long do I think the next arc is going to be? I don't think there's going to be one next arc.
Yeah, I think it's going to be multiple concurrent arcs.
Yeah, this feels like a branch point, not a to be continued kind of a thing. This really is showing off well at night here. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
What? Damn it, Leander. What did it cost you, Xehanort? Everything.
What about a Pyrrhic victory? The
That'd
player
be horrible.
Party is defeated. Xehanort's too spent to control the process.
I don't know. I don't usually associate Rax with intellect and class.
Excuse me.
Sorry. Couldn't resist. I'm joking, if that's not obvious.
No, I know.
Alright, so I got those two. The hardest choices require the strongest wills. Stop. But yeah, I'm picturing Takoida's idea as basically like a horrible downer ending from hell.
Yeah, that would probably be the you lose ending, in my opinion.
I'd be okay with a you lose ending.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I did it! And then everything just is gone forever. Badlands.
Three cheers for Rex, lore running this premiere run. Well, it's not a lore run, so I'm not really lore running this premiere run. But, I suppose.
Let's go ahead and ask another question, because this is a sticker for me too. If you had the choice, would you have Sora survive the end of this game, yes or no?
No. I can say that very clearly, no.
You guys know my answer. I've been saying that for years, but I'm curious to the
I
people
lost
in
the cap
chat.
to my water bottle under my desk.
No.
Hang on a sec.
I mean, you could argue he didn't because it's pretty clear that he is in fact dead. It's just dead in Shibuya just means dead with a chance to come back. He's not gone yet.
Basically, yeah.
For those of you who haven't played The World Ends With You, it's basically he has a second chance, a final chance, it's worth noting.
Yeah.
If he fails that, he is erased.
And he has to go through some really tough trials in order to actually get out of that.
Yeah. However, I do still agree that I would have him just be gone. But then again, I've been saying that since... God, I don't even remember when, to be completely honest with you. I've been saying that for years and years and years.
Same, yep.
That was close.
What's funny is they even did lead up to it, as several people pointed out during the premiere run. You keep using the power of waking, it's going to cost you.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, some people have said, oh, this comes out of nowhere. No, it really doesn't.
Oh, we know how he rescued Kairi. He just rewoke her from the final world.
So why is Riku there? Riku is not there that we know of. He's in Shinjuku. Maybe in the real world, maybe in the spirit world, but otherwise, we have no idea.
If I was to speculate, I'd say he has received information somehow about this and is in the real world there looking to help Sora.
Exactly, yeah. So is the next game a Kingdom Hearts remake of The World Ends With You? Not necessarily. More a crossover than anything else.
Surprise Ninja? No, no, no. Although, I want to share something on camera. Oh my god, that looks really cool. I've never seen that before. On camera that I mentioned in my Discord. So, we were talking about, like, dragging in other FF stuff. And Chrono Trigger. And I loved the idea. I mean, I absolutely adore the idea. So, I would have Lavos be a super optional in Chrono Trigger, but still, or in Chrono Trigger, in a Kingdom Hearts FF thing, but still at an aspect of the story, you know, Final Mix style. And the way I would establish Lavos is I would put in cutscenes and inferences to show that one of Xehanort's people, one of his clones or whatever you want to call them, specifically reached out to Lavos because, oh my god, here is this vast source of power, and died. And just straight up was destroyed by Lavos. And so Xehanort concluded that whatever Lavos is, he's just hands-offing that.
Right.
And then this information gets to the players, or excuse me, the characters in character. They find out that there is something out there that terrifies Xehanort. And I would never use the word Lavos up until this point in time. All of this would just be something in the background until you finally go fight the super optional and, you know, you hear Lavos' cry straight from Chrono Trigger and it's like, oh crap.
Right.
And then, you know, the thing. Is this do I have to do this one?
No, that's just Dark Inferno.
I was gonna say, I don't think I'm ready for Dark Inferno. From the save point, head north. Okay. This is it then. Maybe? Yes, no. I gotta check it. Battlegate 0. Okay. Yep. Hang on.
Battlegate 0?
That's what
Interesting.
that's what it says.
I don't remember having to do this one.
I don't either, so whatever. Let's do it and see what this is.
I
Ultra
don't think he
Mega
has the
Death.
13th report.
No, I'm still missing one, I think. I guess we'll find out in a second.
Though if you've done the one in the Keyblade Graveyard, you should have...
The hell is this? How nightmarish is Lavos? Lavos is what my sister and I refer to as a planet mover.
Yep. Lavos is effectively cosmic horror
Yeah.
in the Chrono Trigger setting.
Now, I will admit I have some headcanon on the matter, because the game actually doesn't really characterize Lavos all that much, nor should it. But the long and the short of it is, Lavos is a planet-level crisis.
Yep. Similar to Genova, except worse.
Oh yeah. Did it go well next time? And no. Is Disney even aware of Kingdom Hearts? Yeah.
Yes. I mean, marketing push bigger than it's ever been, so...
And you know, the whole, we know that they were involved in a influential way, good and bad, with the creation of this game. So... Yeah, I know the feeling, Max Time. I actually applied for an apartment yesterday, and we'll see where that goes.
Supposedly, yes, max time, but obviously we can't check right now.
Yeah, I'll check in a moment. Frozen 2 in Kingdom Hearts 4. Let it be, let it be. It's the exact same words, except for that one word.
Oh my god.
Okay, I didn't get anything from that one, so let's just check here. I have 13. Okay, woo. Well, that's it. All right, thank you for joining me. I'll be seeing you next time. 10 a.m. EST. No, I just really need to get rid of these things because it bothers the crap out of me. Oh, God, go away. Go away. I may have given... So this is how I got Ultima, by the way. Like, I had to earn the recipe legit.
Mm-hmm. Now you can do all the cooking that your heart desires.
May my cooking be my guiding key.
Oh my god. Although you do have plenty of armor and stuff, I would recommend MP haste accessories for Dark Inferno if you end up
'cause
going
I do
up
wanna
against
try
that.
Yeah. What's Magic Galvanizer? Yes. Holy crap, that's awful. Yeah, I did literally cheat. I mean, I have 89 of every armor. Of course I cheated. I've been able to hex edit at PS4 games ever since the Final Fantasy lore run because I had to at the time for 12 and for 15.
Yep. Magic Galvanizer is effectively combo boost for magic.
Yeah, I figured. Almost there, guys. I just really want this stuff off my screen. Ah, I feel so much better.
Hurry, Sora!
Okay. Save. Oh no, actually, unlike the PS3, taking someone else's save on the PS4 is actually really hard to do.
It's effectively account locked, and you can't just hex edit around that
Yeah.
like you can on the PS3.
There are methods to do that, they're just not happening. So, okay, scene report number 1. Recollections. Am I alive? I awoke in a cell alone until the researchers came with their tests and their prodding to uncover my identity. I had no answer to offer them. 4 friends and a key, that is the total sum of my memory. I could not even recall my name. I was simply called X there. My only solace was the time I spent talking with the 2 boys who would visit from time to time. I feel like I should be speaking as a female for this for some weird reason. One day a man came to take me from the prison. I could not see him for the darkness, save that he wore an eye patch. Even now, years on, I feel no closer to understanding who or what I am. May my heart be my guiding key. Mark of Mastery Journal. Some days have passed since I set off on my journey to prepare for the Mark of Mastery examination. Ericus asked for leave to undertake the same pilgrimage, but apparently I am the first to tour the worlds written of in the old fairy tales. Hey, I was right. Sorry. Until a few short years ago, I'd known only my own world, a speck of land surrounded by sea. But how I dreamed of, yearned for the world beyond, and granted guidance from the future, I left that nest behind. As I treaded the path to my master's side, I came in contact with darkness in many forms. I knew even then, as by instinct, terrifying as its power was, it could be harnessed, mastered. Ericus is a blue blood, descended from the very first masters in the Age of Fairy Tales, but I did not come this far to indulge in adulation. I will be his peer, his equal, and to do that, I must learn to wield the power born from both light and darkness in proper balance. Xehanort. Experiments in the Heart. Notes on Subject X. Excerpt 1. Subject was found in the central square shortly after dawn. Female, approximately 15 years old. After 7 days' observations, she spoke her first words, but could not provide a name. Subject exhibits signs of profound amnesia and displays concern about which world this is. Her words suggest she departed her homeworld with others, although she cannot recall the names of her erstwhile companions. All efforts to explore those memories have been met with a rejection response. After his initial experiments on me, Ansem the Wise ceased his research into the heart, his hand stayed by some fear I cannot fathom. Yet this new subject is like me, devoid of memories. She is the perfect sample upon which to continue my master's work. She, too, could benefit from it. By traversing the heart, we have a direct path into memory. I myself have begun to reclaim my lost past thanks to these very experiments. Who is she? Whence has she come? These are questions no scientist could ignore, and the words she muttered, may your heart be your guiding key. Technically Terranort. Subject's memories have not returned, and our conversations remain less than lucid. What fragments can be gleaned evoke a bygone world, like one out of fairy tales. As improbable as it seems, the question may not be where she has come from, but when. If she truly has crossed through time, the prospect of probing her heart is all the more compelling. My pilot studies used a handful of subjects, but none of them possessed the fortitude to endure them. Ultimately, all suffered mental collapse. I knew it would be a heavy blow to lose a subject as unique as she. Upon discovering the tests I've been conducting, my master demanded I cease my work immediately and destroy what my research has compiled. Worse still, he ordered the release of my remaining subjects. She is gone. Where is Subject X now? Has the wise Master Ansem hidden her away? Whatever the case, I will not be deterred. I will take her place as the first subject in the grand experiment to come. Terranort. Memoirs. That castle was a wonderland to us children. Within its walls, Ansem the Wise conducted his research, and the fruits it bore allowed everyone outside to live in peace and happiness. That alone was enough to stoke our interest, although not all of the rumors that escaped its walls were so benevolent. By night, the muffled sounds of human wails emerged. There was talk of dangerous human experimentation. Lee and I couldn't help but hatch a plot to steal inside and sate our curiosity. The two who stood guard at the gates were researchers themselves, though you wouldn't think it to see them, massive, barrel-chested as they were, and slipping past that duo was only the first hurdle. It proved one not easily cleared. We were found and tossed out on our ears time and again. On the day we finally secured our entry, we descended into a long spiral stair at the heart of the castle to find a dark space below it lined with cages. There wasn't light enough to see if they were inhabited, and we were in no position to call out to any occupants within, yet we could feel it, a definite presence there in the black. Terror washed over us, and we immediately regretted coming, but just as we turned to flee, we heard the faintest of voices. The urge to run was nigh overpowering, but someone or something beckoned us on, and there, framed by a tenuous sliver of light, we found her. Cyax. Whoop. It was too dim to make out her features. We spoke to her in hushed whispers. Who was she? Why was she imprisoned here? She had no answers for us, had no memories at all. She was an enigma, but I knew I wanted to help her. And so we continued our infiltrations. Most of them stopped short at the castle gates. When we did manage our way inside, we spoke with her. That was all the comfort two children like us could offer, but Lee had other ideas. He was determined to free her. We slipped into the castle that day, knowing only that we wanted, with all our hearts, to save her. But we did not find her inside that day, or the next, or any of our subsequent visits. Had she been moved? Had we simply imagined her? Lee and I knew that there was only one way to be certain, and so we stand before the castle gates today, not as trespassing children, but in order to become Ansem the Wise's newest apprentices. Cyax. Excuse me. One moment. That's what I thought. Following my erasure and recompletion as a human, I did not awaken right away. Perhaps the damage was exceptionally grave. Even after waking, I remained in bed, pondering my next course of action. In my work on the replica program for the organization, I produced some 20 vessels. Most of the early results were failures. Not one of them granted a number. The first success to emerge from that lot was the early Riku replica. Subsequently, Shion, number imaginary, was essentially indistinguishable from a natural human, although she was unstable due to the influence of others. Using those two as my foundation, I worked to construct a number of nigh-perfect replicas, but just as they neared completion, my efforts were cut short. I suspect Xehanort aims to use both the initial lot as well as the unused replicas for my later work. I arose today and decided to walk out to the square, my first outing in some time. Yet my stroll was interrupted when a surprising visitor appeared with an unexpected offer. Although younger than me, he'd risen to become Xemnas' right hand. I accepted his terms and became a nobody once more. Easier to gain access to the old replica program that way. Whatever it takes to atone. Vexen. Xehanort seeks to gather 12 vessels, which, together with his true actual self, he considers the real Organization 13. Now that he has the numbers he needs, Demyx and I are being treated as reserves. Several others who served Xemnas in the old organization have followed the same course as mine, electing to abandon their newly restored humanity and rejoin the real organization as nobodies. But not Xemnas. Xemnas cannot exist in the present because there's already a Xehanort here, the old man in charge. The old man's humanity prevents his heartless and his nobody, others vanquished in the past, and his younger self from being denizens of this time. So to circumvent this, Xehanort is using the prototype replicas I created in the past as containers, plucking his other selves' hearts from the time they existed. Xehanort ordered me to refine the prototypes to make them closer still to the real thing, perfecting my creations so they may house true flesh-and-blood human suits. Humans suits my own purposes as well. All that remains for my atonement is to devise a way to pass on as many of the vessels as I can to those who truly deserve them. Vexen. Ansem Code Conspectus. Yeah, I think I'm saying that right. I have pored over the data my master entrusted to Riku. Here I offer my preliminary conclusions. Within Sora's heart are 3 compartmentalized boxes, each containing the heart of another. One box holds Roxas, another holds a second heart that has been with Sora nearly as long. The third has held its heart for much longer. These hearts have melded with Sora's and no longer have voices of their own. Any attempts to mechanically extract them could prove as dire for Sora as what caused him to become a Heartless in the first place. First, a vessel for each heart must be readied. Then a spark of some sort is required to induce its waking. Obviously, the ideal solution is to restore each heart to its own body, but whatever the case for the two unknown individuals, Roxas possesses no such thing. The same is true for Naminé, who we believe resides within Kairi's heart. Still, if alternate bodies can be secured for them, all their hearts require to be awakened is that spark, people they care for, and who cared for them, who could show them the way home. Complete and perfect digitalization of the heart is impossible. We can only hope to partially reconstruct it. Thus, I see no way forward but to extract the hearts we so desperately need directly from Sora. Fortunately, the data stored in Twilight Town contains a near-perfect record of the memories of those who lived there. And, for Roxas and Naminé especially, this is crucial. Ienzo. Or Ienzo. How do they pronounce it?
Ienzo.
Ienzo. Oh, that's loud. What in the world? Do you have like a bus going by or something?
Probably my heater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't hear it the other day. Ansem Code Conspectus Excerpt 2. As for how to contain their hearts, the only conceivable option is the replicas. If we transfer in the digital memories from the Twilight Town archive, the replicas should be able to reconstruct each individual's human appearance with near-perfect results. Then, their hearts need only the right spark to wake them, so they might find their way out of Sora and Kairi into those newly made bodies. The replica program was truly revolutionary, but it was incomplete at the time of the old organization's dissolution. Without Evan, how are we to even further the research? We need at least 3 replicas, one for Roxas, one for Naminé, and one for the unknown stowaway within Sora's heart. These are difficult quandaries, but as I work through my master's data, I find myself remembering the taste of ice cream. When I was a boy, he would bring me some when we took walks together. There will be time to regret my betrayal later. For now, my focus must be on restoring Roxas and Naminé, and proving my master had good intentions. Observations, Excerpt 1. I have seen it through. The Keyblade War unfolded exactly as written in the lost page. Now the Keyblade the Master entrusted to me must be bequeathed to another. 5 Union leaders have been chosen from the surviving Dandelions. I will pass the Keyblade to one of them, and then continue watching the future unfold. Yet it seems that someone has pulled the old switcheroo. One of the 5 is an imposter, someone the Master did not choose. They represent a virus in the program he so carefully wrote. The virus has begun a strange undertaking, a reckless plot to allow the 5 to escape into another world line. Such a thing can't be possible. We're talking about the same trick that allowed the Dandelions to transfer to other world lines after the Keyblade War. But these children are no masters. They haven't the means, unless, of course, a certain lady of magic summoned here from the future knows more than I. The whole Union leader thing was supposed to be by the books. Are these events just another phase in the Master's grand plan? Totally not Lushu. He actually says unknown. Even on a world line with no Keyblade War, peace is but a dream. In the absence of us and our Master, a darkness arrived, one that surely will lead the world to yet another demise. Amid the chaos, I bequeathed my Keyblade to one of the Union leaders, just as the Master instructed. I watched as the 5 were sent to another world line, at no small cost, ensuring the line of Keyblade wielders will live on. And now, Keybladeless, I must depart this land to fulfill my final task. That means casting my own body aside and sojourning my heart in vessel after vessel, as many as it takes. But I will continue gazing upon each passing era, one unto the next. In time, be it years, decades, centuries, or millennia, I will meet the 5 once more. Somewhere in the cyclical history of bequeathings, a chosen one will appear and reenact the Keyblade War. When this scapegoat arrives and takes my Keyblade in hand, that'll be time to take the stage and finish my role. The Lost Masters will awaken. Seems that this body, this name, will be my last. The lives I have lived over the ages could fill volumes, but for now, I must focus on what matters most. The Keyblades have been successfully passed down, generation to generation, and it seems a Keyblade Master devoted to the darkness may finally arise. Until now, I have watched over the course of events from a distance. Perhaps the time has come to intervene. I need only play the role of a fool, desirous of the Keyblade's power. I'll don the mask of his ally in order to keep watch over my Keyblade from close by. The Gazing Eye, a Keyblade forged from the eye of the Master of Masters. He passed it to me, as I have to others, and through it he can see the future, all that will ever come to pass, spanning the ages and body after body, life after life. My task has been to keep vigil over the eye as it passes from hand to hand. It has been a long time, longer than I can express, probably 10,000 years. But now at last the Keyblade War has begun, and Kingdom Hearts will open, a true, complete Kingdom Hearts, born of a clash between darkness and light. I will soon be reunited with my old companions, and in that moment, my long vigil will reach its end, and he will return.
Where to start? I've got quite a few bullet points.
Hang on, real quick, hang on. He will return. Da 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 da.
Okay, suppose we'll start at the beginning. So, Subject X, or Subject Cross, however you want to interpret that.
It's Ava.
It's Skuld.
It's Strelitzia.
Either Ava or Skuld.
No, it is Ava or Skuld. Yeah, it's one of the two.
Yeah. Between the four companions thing, the fact that she's still alive, and the fact that, you know, may your heart be your guiding key, kind of narrows it down.
Yeah. It is one of the two, I agree. Where's chat? There's chat.
I don't really think there's much to elaborate on from reports 1 to 6 besides that.
Yeah, honestly...
Report 3, though... Go ahead, actually.
Well, I was just going to say, honestly, this feels just like to be continued. This is... Ava's here, and if this is Ava or Skuld, either way, this ties neatly into the other plot thread of the Masters coming back and Lushu's overall manipulations. So, I'm with that. The catch is...
But Ava is not the right age. Correct. Ava is not the right age. Ava's in her early 20s.
That's true. Lushu's not the right age either. Excuse me. I'm sorry, age isn't a big deal in this
combat
system.
challenges. I assume the reason is that the areas were supposed to be found. The areas these were supposed to be found in didn't make it. The secret reports have always been connected to either, you know, story progression or through challenges. So,
Well, I mean, a relevant point is that we got a lot of these reports in one just by playing the game.
yeah, exactly.
Although we didn't get all of them. I think.
No, yeah, there were a few that were locked behind bosses and stuff.
Okay, I am right. It's been a while since I've actually gotten the reports in one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Ava is supposed to be the youngest. Yes, but how old is what I'm saying. They said about 15 in the reports. What was that thing about 5 organization members? Which thing? Could you elaborate on that a little bit more? We can surmise that only Ephemer Brain got Lucius Keyblade. Yeah, I'll get to that. Okay, report 3. I wanted to touch on that really quickly. Xehanort's goal was not retconned.
Agreed.
It even says his goal is still balance. Now, the implementation of that leaves a lot to be desired, but his overall motivation is still the same. Let's see. Reports 11 through 13 are the ones I really wanted to focus on. So, obviously, reports 11 through 13 are written by Lushu. I don't think that even needs to be said.
Well, yeah, no.
Now, report 11 in particular is interesting because they mention a virus.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, that virus is a character called Brain.
Yeah.
Looks like Zexion, always carries a book. We always thought, you know, he was Zexion's ancestor or something like that. No, he's apparently a virus. He's always writing in that book that I'm talking about. And he is apparently the one that killed Strelitzia, because he took her place.
Which is interesting, because for a while there we thought Larium had killed Strelitzia.
Yep. Some people theorize he's Ericus's ancestor. He's a rogue element. He's a creation that wasn't meant to be there in the first place. Even though she isn't tied to all that Ven mess, her appearance got caught in the crossfire in a matter of speaking. Yeah, true.
You did, yeah, I agree.
Yep. A few people have theorized that if it is Ava, that she might also be connected to Naminé. I think it's
see that.
somewhat interesting theory, as perhaps it could explain why she looks different from Kairi. So we've got two different theories for why Kairi is, or for why Naminé looks different from Kairi. Interesting.
That would explain it, JP.
Yeah.
That is some reach.
Did Ienzo's Nobody have a book as a weapon? Yes, he had a book that trapped you in an illusion world, actually.
He did. That's true. Sorry. A little distracted right now.
Yeah.
See, the problem is, what I'm seeing in this stuff is that we have so little information that it's hard to even speculate. Damn! I had him on his last health bar. I had him on his last health bar. Like, it feels like we
have
know...
you equipped, like, the MP Hasteга and stuff?
I
accessories
have 2 MP Thrifts, which I thought was the one I needed.
MP Thrift is the one you need if you're going for a magic setup, but MP Hastega is the one you need if you want to go for a melee plus cure setup. Oh, you are going for the magic thing, okay.
Well, I failed it last time, because apparently he's immune to fire later on. Which I didn't know.
What's up with this boss? What's the story? No idea.
He's probably Ephemer, but he's probably not. I'm doing much worse this
Yeah,
time.
he's got a scarf. That's all we can go off
Yeah,
of.
that's literally all we got. He's got a scarf, and he appeared in the same area Ephemer did. That's it. You'll notice Ephemer doesn't even have a name, actually, in the journal. I checked that earlier. That's a good point, though. A final mix will probably shed some light on whatever the hell's going on with this.
Yeah.
I will say something. It does seem very clear that, based on that, they are trying very hard to continue the cross storyline arcs as where they're going with it. Whatever that's actually going towards, that's clearly phase 2.
Yep. The usually important secret bosses come from a different version on the original version. Correct.
Damn it, that freaking stun. Damn it. I can't get a combo off on this guy. Really can't. Stop being stunned, Sora. What do you want about that? It's gonna be that thing that always happens to me, where the first attempt is always my best attempt, and I just do worse every time after that. What do you want to bet? I agree that people are overthinking this boss. Sorry.
Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to the secret bosses of Kingdom Hearts, I usually wait for further information. And if we don't get it, if this is another Julius, so to speak...
Yeah, Julius is exactly what I was about to mention. Because, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I win.
Nice.
Finger smack selfie pose unlocked. Yeah!
Actually, because I have never done this, go ahead and equip those accessories and stuff that I mentioned before. Because the Ultima weapon actually has MP Hastega. And, you know, you can grab multiple of them from other stuff.
MP haste.
So because I'm just curious to see what the MP regen speed is like.
Yeah, give me a sec. I gotta find him. There's way too many accessories in this game. That's a Hastega. There it is, Hastega. These two. I guess that one.
Are we finally going to get that Versus 13 explanation? Which one? You mean the one I gave yesterday? The fact that it's important because of the Verum Rex thing and how it ties into the World Ends With You?
These dastardly dual wielders are like blenders on roller skates, except worse. You can try to keep your distance, but they'll soon close in on you, or else just huck a fireball your way. Be careful when attacking when their blades are crossed. That means they're ready to counter. Stay cool, bide your time, and then strike when they drop their guard.
The fact that it's not a unique Heartless. At least
Yeah.
the way that they talk about it.
Yeah, that sounds like it's just a class of Heartless.
Yeah.
The Mega Heartless are coming back now that we've, brought back the old people. I don't know. Right. I wanted to check that. I think I can do that.
Oh yeah, when you get a moment, can you check the summary for the Keyblade Graveyard? Because there's actually something I need to
Sure.
bring up.
Oops, wrong thing. Hang on. Where's the story? Our story. Keyblade. No, Keyblade Graveyard. The 13 Seekers of Darkness and 7 Guardians of Light convene in the Keyblade Graveyard. And the Keyblade. Oh, Jesus, this is long. What do you want here?
I'm looking for something on Terranort and Master Xehanort.
Hang on. There's Marluxia. There's there's Terra. Hang on. Up. Okay, as for Terra Xehanort, Aqua and Ventus were careful not to harm their friend's body too gravely, but Terra Xehanort refused to cease his vicious onslaught. Thankfully, their bonds of friendship went out with a rasp. Terra spoke with his own voice for the first time in forever, banished Xehanort from his body once and for all. The three friends, battered but broken, celebrated the long overdue reunion, while Sora pushed on to the next battle.
There was supposed to be something that basically confirmed that Terra Xehanort and Master Xehanort had split after he had come back. Not sure where it's at.
Oh, hang on. Let me read at my speed here. I don't think it's here.
I think Capdoc is the only is presenting the only possible conclusion for that.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm just kind of shocked by that.
I got none. Well, time to beat him again. Well, you wanted me to show off Hasteska. I've got 4 Hasteskas on right now.
Right. Yeah, your cure regen speed should be like really quick now.
So if you give me a moment, I'll just cure immediately. If I could reach him, Jesus. I don't really feel like this is much faster.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's that much faster.
I have 4 Hasteskas equipped, and this is just okay.
And this does stack. I know it stacks.
Also, I love beating this guy without blocking. I just want to say that. It gives me unusual joy to beat this game on Proud without blocking.
Mm-hmm.
Although I know everyone's just going to say this game is super easy, so whatever.
Yeah. Haste goes 30%.
Well, if it's 30% of 30% of 30%, it's going to be like 30 and then 33 and then...
It's going to be about 50, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be nothing, basically.
Yeah, no, they stack multiplicatively. I thought you were going to explain what exactly happened with Nomura in Versus 13. I'm not 100% sure what happens with that. Okay, so Nomura and Versus 13 is kind of a complicated story. We know, back in 2006, he presented the concept, kind of sat on it for a bit as he fleshed it out and also developed Kingdom Hearts. But around 2011, we saw our first gameplay of it, and around that time was the time that Square said, "Okay, you're not producing enough results. We're going to take you off of this project in a few years if you don't do anything with it." So fast forward to 2013.
I don't know.
It gets renamed to Final Fantasy 15, and Nomura has more to show of it. But ultimately, it's still not enough for Square, and they put Tabata on the project and moved Nomura to, full time to Kingdom Hearts 3, and debatably to the FF7 remake as well. That's really all. Tabata didn't go in the direction that Nomura wanted, and so so he's bitter.
I mean, I should also add something there. To my knowledge, there's no real problem between Tabata and Nomura personally.
Oh no, there's no like bad blood between them. He's just bitter about the situation that he was put into.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to comment on that because I've heard some people say that. It's like, just to use a direct personal example, Rax and I disagree on several things. So if I had a story thing I was working on, and he decided to, he was given that story and went another direction with it, I would be bitter about that. Not towards Rax.
No,
just towards the situation.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I should show off something really quick. So I've kind of done my ship up a little bit better. Yeah, I know what you're probably thinking. What the heck's up with my my teeny ships? Let me go live, and maybe you'll understand what they are.
Oh, I like what you're going for.
I actually
I don't even have to see it to know what you're doing.
So actually, I was actually...
Hourglass.
Good morning, Hourglass, and Isermaster. I was actually in the middle of turning the main one into a Star Destroyer. It requires so many parts to do. Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure there is a level high enough to be able to do that. So, that's a thing. But I also wanted to show off that this is kind of a Doom ship. Like, I have a ridiculous amount of firepower on this ship. It is...
What kind of speed do you have? You might be able to show off both of the bosses.
Well, I'm going to show off one boss that I never beat. I actually tried it. And, yeah, this build just don't work for it, apparently. But I don't think I have the speed for the other one. I'll try to show it off.
You need 200 speed for the other one.
Oh, no, I can't even reach the super boss. Because of this boss.
Oh, you can't actually beat these
no, not this one.
Here?
Not this one. Sorry, I beat this one. It's the next one. Yeah, basically, I crushed these 4. And I was like, okay, that was easy. I'll go on to the next one. And the next one killed me in the face in about 5 seconds. And I was like, oh. Okay, I'll try again. Then it killed me in about 10 seconds. I kept trying for a bit. Didn't work out.
Yeah, this is why I just grabbed the Golden Highwind and blew through these guys.
There it is. This guy coming up here. What are you linking me, Prog?
That is a Dragon Quest thing.
It says Hong Shang. I have no idea what this says. I am incapable. I am too stupid. Google says it says, I was able to announce it last. Open to the public this summer. Doraku 5 is the original draft. There was one hot speech with a hot debate until his last night. I'm thankful to Yamazaki who made it into shape. Everyone look forward to it. I have no idea what that means.
A road show.
I mean, obviously that's Google Translate, but I got nothing.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, this guy. I couldn't beat this guy. They're probably thinking, what? This guy? Well, I'll show why. So you notice how despite non-stop dodging, he's still hitting me? And you notice that all he does in his first phase is that attack that hits me even though I'm dodging?
Yeah, you need more mobility.
Yeah. Or more firepower.
I'm surprised you didn't use like actual wings for the TIE fighters.
And dead. Yeah, see? I literally can't I can't dodge, and I can't survive long enough to hurt him. Does the donut trick work in this one? Because that would be funny.
I don't know.
In case you can't tell, I'm trying to show off how much those bullets home in on you. They're literally curving in space. Do you see that?
Yeah, you need to be on point with your dodging. I used the Golden Highwind on this guy, to be clear.
I totally got this. Whoop.
Do you think an Atlantis world is ever going to be possible?
Eh.
Possible, yes, but
I mean, of course it's possible, but at this point, it's probably worth noting that for all that people seem to like it, and nothing against that, Atlantis didn't sell well.
yeah, same with Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
Those two are kind of two sides of the same coin in this argument.
Yeah. It's an interesting attack. Yeah, this guy's got to have 1 billion health. I mean, I'm pouring death into him, and he's not even moving. Whatever. Anyways.
I'd say go grab the Einhander ship and show off the Einhander boss, if nothing else.
I am aware of ship abilities. My ship ability I had set to was heal. I don't care. I don't enjoy this gummy stuff. Not like I did in 2. So I just don't care about
Fair enough.
100%ing it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just wanted to show that off because I bothered to put the time into making a pseudo-custom ship. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go try the 4 bosses and then the final boss in this area. And I did the first one without issue. And then I ran into that guy. And, yeah. The end.
Is it possible to get your guns to focus fire more? There are lock-on lasers, but the actual guns, no, they're just fire and forget, basically.
Yeah. Here's the full design, by the way, if you're wondering what it looks like. Close up. I actually had a full design which was much better and was too expensive. It didn't fit. Like, for reasons that I actually find aggravating. So, you know, this costs 1, right? And the angled one costs 1, all that fun stuff. But then, like, you get into these special ones, and these cost 2, and 6, and 9, and 14. And they're just cosmetic. They don't do anything.
What about wings? Oh, you're looking at wings right now. Huh?
Yeah, it's just... I can't make something look cool because it literally costs more. But
Also,
wings...
Those aren't cosmetic. They increase your mobility, whereas the blocks increase your HP.
Well, that's true, but I still think this is dumb. Just to be blunt.
Yeah.
Just,
I think the costs are all wonky.
Yeah. I personally, the way I would do it is like, I would have... Effectively, I would have cosmetic blocks, which do nothing. Which do nothing and cost nothing. And then I would have stuff that increases health and mobility and all that fun stuff. And like make those like decals almost on top of the cosmetic blocks, you know?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah. Nothing increases mobility, they increase rolling. Then how do you actually increase the mobility? Or is it just, stuck at 0 and can only go down?
That's a good question. None of these increase mobility. It's a stat right there.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I thought it would be
Only
the
bird and
engines.
the dog increase mobility. Yeah, but those
What?
they compromise the aesthetic.
I think I have one of those. I'm not sure where it would be. Black Cauldron World? God, I don't even know that movie well enough to comment on it.
Yeah, neither do I. I haven't seen that movie in about 15 years.
Power. Anyways. I'm done with the game.
If there were KH3 DLC, what would you want from a DLC? We discussed that yesterday.
Yeah.
But in brief, more bosses, more lore, more Keyblades,
More lore.
more lore.
There must
Please,
always be more lore.
Fill these goddamn plot holes.
So having done the optional fights, getting the optional reports, honestly, I can't bring myself to add any pluses or negatives for that.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the reports are bad. Quite the contrary. They're very informative, unlike usual. We know pretty much exactly what they're talking about. The catch is it's all next time on Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah, it's all just going to be hinting towards the next game, which is kind of what the reports have been in the past, especially Report 13 from KH1.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
Nobody.
yeah,
If I could say one final thing, and I feel like I've already said this in different words, I feel like this game shouldn't have hinted towards the future at all. Or if it had, maybe just in the secret ending.
yeah, secret ending, epilogue, that's it.
Yeah. Spend the rest of the time just focusing on concluding and focusing on, like, all of the time and effort that was spent talking about the girl and talking about the old masters and talking about all that stuff, refocus that into stuff that's relevant for now.
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's just my take on that. And so Baron's asking why. For the same reason Legion did it, to use a World of Warcraft example. Legion was the end of Warcraft, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, it was the end of the story arc. From Warcraft 3 to Legion is one cohesive story arc, which concludes. Use that time, and they did this in Legion, use that time to wrap up. And then at the very end of Legion, there's the hint for what's coming forward, which again goes back to what I was talking about, which was the sword. Yeah. Do that. Don't spend all this time building. I mean, I get it, again, because as I said earlier, it really feels like Nomura just wants to do his own thing, and so he's using this opportunity to establish his own thing so that people will be interested in it. And I get that. I understand that real life is not perfect. I do.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I still wouldn't prefer that this game had been more conclusive and less establishing.
Yep.
Just my opinion.
So Zalok asked a fairly basic question, but one I found interesting, especially when it was presented all the way back at the beginning of the stream. Which recent Square RPG was your favorite? FF15, KH3, or Dragon Quest XI?
Octopath!
I haven't played Dragon Quest XI yet, so it's kind of a choice between KH3 and FF15. And honestly, that's a no-brainer. KH3 wins that hands down. It's still got its problems, but it is, for one, it's complete. And for two, it's just a better game in general, in my opinion.
And yes, we did know that, Nerdman. So, I thought Dragon Quest XI was a better game overall.
I could see that.
I don't mean that as if this is a bad game. It's obviously a net positive, according to my score right next to me, or right next to you, actually. But Dragon Quest XI was a really good game. Like, it had only a few major uhs throughout it.
And Dragon Quest, sorry to cut you off, but Dragon Quest it adheres to if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Which is funny, though.
Dragon Quest is not a broken, or even a bad formula. It's a good formula.
That being said, the fact that grind is almost 100% unnecessary in Dragon Quest XI is awesome. I cannot put into words how amazing it is in a Dragon Quest game, in a JRPG, that you can just avoid grinding. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Anyways, so what is this? 14 pluses. And how many we got? No.
The gameplay is blah, though. That's only your opinion, Takoda. I mean, I know, yeah. That's just like your opinion, man, but seriously, like, the gameplay by itself, most people don't really, care enough about, iframes and revenge value and stuff like that.
As an aside, I also don't agree. I felt like the gameplay in 11 was one of the best they've ever done for that franchise, and...
Oh, you're talking about Dragon Quest XI, okay.
Yeah. And that... Sorry, no, Dragon Quest XI had really, really good gameplay, in my opinion, for what it was trying to do, especially since there's a lot of ways to build your setup, to build your characters. It felt almost, and I know this is going to sound like a weird comparison, it felt almost like Pokemon. There's a lot of different builds that are possible, setups that are possible. And I actually felt legitimately challenged going through some of the hard stuff in the end of that game.
Mm-hmm. And it's worth noting, Dragon Quest, it prides itself on being simple. So, whether that's to your taste or not is ultimately up to you, but simplicity is a strength.
Oh my god.
In certain respects, anyways.
So, I'm pretty sure this is definitive. I can't see anything being added or taken away out of this until we do a DLC run. So, story positives, net +6. Gameplay positives, net +7.
Interesting.
Can anyone out there tell me what 6 + 7 equals?
I'm sorry, I can't do math.
I swear that's not on purpose. That's just how that is. No, I think that's pretty definitive. Let me see what my total save time is.
When you're trying to enter Dragon Quest discussion, you're in my territory. Yeah, well, guess who intruded on my Kingdom Hearts territory, so...
Seriously, Scene. Yes, 72, you're correct. What is this? Go away. So that's a net +6 and a net +7. God, this is like almost 2 pages of stuff here.
Yeah.
So that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. So that's 5 days of playtime. Jeez, that was actually kind of long. And a save time of 35:04.
Nice. Are we going to react to the Frozen 2 trailer?
Nope.
No. Although...
What up?
We ended a little early.
We did. I figured we'd have more to talk about.
Yeah, so did I. I'm interested to see what the Nintendo Direct is all about this time.
Me too, but that's not till tonight.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go blank slate, where there is. Where's the page? Where's the page? There we go. There's nothing here. Total blackness. I'm also gonna chop off the local recording. Bye, those of you watching on YouTube.